Oh, hello, Annie's Insight. You're welcome. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you, my dear. Thank you for coming. Please try and share me out if you can. Let's see if we can get many more people in the house. And we're not going to waste time today. I'm on, so can you get on call? Just the okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay, my people. Sorry for the. I'll be with you all shortly. Happy Sunday, everyone. Thank you for coming. Annie's Inside. Wisaya oh God, I'm wondering your name, Alemaya. Thank you so much for coming. Musisi Kizito. Thank you, Musisi, for coming. Thank you, everyone. Be lifted high. Be lifted high. Oh Lord, be lifted high. Looking looking pretty. Thank you so much, Annie. I'm trying to get a little bit near you, your prettiness. That would be nice. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for coming. Be lifted high. It's so hot here. We've been complaining. I have the fan on, but I'm still roasting. We've been complaining here in the UK. The weather has been supposed to be summer, but the summer is not summering. But today, and from the weather forecast, today and tomorrow up until Thursday is going to be very hot. And in the UK, it's not the norm to have AC. Like, hold on, let me get, hold on, please. Yeah, what I'm trying to say, here in the UK, it's not the norm to have AC like they do for example, in Nigeria. Obviously, you can put that yourself. Here, you can do, but most of the time, nobody does, because it doesn't come as a norm, and we don't have that kind of very hot weather that you say, oh, you need the AC. So we just make do with the fan, because the summertime does not last. We are now towards the end of August. By the time we enter September, summer is gone. And we never really had any much summertime this year anyway. So we just make do with the fan. Sometimes you don't even need the fan. But when it's very hot like this, then you definitely need it. So, yeah. So I'm roasting a little bit here, but I'm sure I'll be fine. Today, we're going to discuss something. It's going to be interactive. It depends on the number of people we have in the house. Then I'll see how the discussion will go. But yeah, we'll have an important discussion yeah, we have an important discussion to something to discuss today. It's going to be interactive. Whether you're married or not, is going to be quite interesting to actually hear what we're going to say. And because the title was to do with people who the old generation and the new generation type of marriage. That's what we're going to be discussing today. So please share me out if you can. Let's see if we can have more people in the house. But before then, we'll just do our usual, which is singing and praising God. And then we can get into the discussion. Let me just share myself out. Be lifted high, be lifted high. Oh Lord, be lifted high. For you are worthy, righteous and majesty. Oh Lord, be lifted high. Be lifted high, be lifted high. Oh Lord, be lifted high. For you are holy, righteous and majesty. Oh Lord, be lifted high. Hello, Nati Slim, you're welcome to the house. Thank you for coming. My youngest son is on a school trip. Okay, I'm with Sanya. All right, okay. Gift Honor, you're welcome. I really appreciate all of you being here today. Thank you so much for attending. And I hope you have given me a thumb up. Please give this live stream a thumb up. Let's see if we can have more people in the house. Giving glory to the Lord, He reigns. Giving glory to the Lord, He reigns. He reigns, oh yes, He reigns. Giving glory to the Lord, He reigns. Giving glory to the Lord, He reigns. Giving glory to the Lord, He reigns. He reigns, oh yes, He reigns. Give Him glory to the Lord, He reigns. Okay, hold on, please. Please just give me a minute. Let me. Your name is strong tower, Jesus. Your name is strong tower, Jesus. We call upon your name, you make a way. Your name is strong tower, Jesus. Your name is strong tower, Jesus. To you belong all power, Jesus. We call upon your name, you make a way. To you belong all power, Jesus. Evelyn, you're very welcome to the house. Thank you for coming. Happy Sunday. I hope you're okay with the family. Thank you so much for coming. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I noticed there's quite a few, about two people I know who also are doing their live stream now. So I think there'll be divided interest today. Yeah, two people that I would have obviously been in their own live stream that also doing live stream at this time. You cannot pick and choose when people do their own live stream. So I think that's why we are a bit thin on the line today. And yeah, but whatever is the case, we are going to go on and discuss what we've got to discuss, and people can watch this as a replay. People can watch it as a replay, so that we don't have a good number of people in the house today does not mean that we're not going to go ahead and discuss what we have planned to discuss today. But the only thing is that I would have loved it to be more interactive. That is, people coming up here to share after I've given an insight into what I want us to talk about today. I would have loved, people to come up, but it's okay, because at the end of the day, people can always replay. And sometimes when people are replaying, it's even they concentrate more because they are just playing it and maybe listening. Sometimes when I replay live streams, I get more from it because I'll just put it on, headset on, be doing something, and I'll be listening to the discussion. So even if you're not going to go, I know how busy we all are. Even if you're not going to be here till the end of this live stream, you can always kindly replay for me later on in the day or tomorrow, whenever. You can replay it, and just for added support, and also to pick anything that you may have missed. Okay. Gift, yeah, Gift, I already welcome you. Thank you everyone for coming, and sing a couple of more chorus, and then we'll pray. As we do it here, we always start with some singing and praising God, and then we pray before we start saying anything, because God, we have to ask God to put in our mouths, the words that we're going to say. On this week we are entering, I'm doing a series on wisdom. I have a video coming up on Tuesday. That's part one. That's part one of the series. It may get up to 4 or 6 series. I don't know, because a lot have come up recently regarding wisdom. So I'm doing a series. I've already recorded the first one. It will come up on Tuesday. And we know that we know that wisdom is not by age, it's not by experience, it's not by your education. It's by the grace of God, and you have to seek it. Seek wisdom, and God will grant that to you. You may be about my age, in your 60s, but somebody who is about some of your ages here in your 30s and so on will even be wiser than somebody my age. So have open mind regarding the series I'm running on wisdom. Have open mind when you listen to them. It's not because I know that Black Money Corp, anywhere he sees me, he will say Ifechi wisdom. That's how he refers to me. I will not say no, that I don't have wisdom. If I say that, then I'm deceiving myself, because and the wisdom have grown over the years. All of that will come up in the series. Watch out for the first one on Tuesday. They're all going to be on Ifechi family, to know why we need to have wisdom, why we need to be wise. As I say, it's not by age, it's not by qualification, it's not by anything like that. I would love that series. As I say, I've already got up to series parts 1 to 4, but it may get up to 6, depending, because there's a lot to be said about wisdom. some of the problems we have in life today, some of the issues people are having, even on this little YouTube we are doing, some of the issues boils down to people not having wisdom. So we have to watch out. Oh, I've got some people in the house while I'm talking. Let me welcome them before we can now sing one more prayer and get into it. Onyi, baby girl Onyi, you're welcome to the house. Thank you for coming. I've already welcomed Evelyn. Oh, Blessing, Asimota, how are you? Thank you for coming. And who else? Yes, I thought I saw Rosemary. Hello, husband, everyone in chat. In arts. Okay, you're in arts. Thumbs up, down. Thank you so much. If the art is so much, if the art is too long, just leave it and come into the house. Come in. Goris Corner, you're very welcome to the house. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you all. Thank you, everyone. Goris, I was telling them about UK weather, that for the past how many weeks we didn't see the summer. Summer was not summering, but suddenly today, and when I looked at the weather forecast for the week, for where I am anyway, it's going to be very sunny on at least until Thursday. So we're making the most of it. I'm just looking over my back garden there, and it's just so sunny and beautiful. And yeah, so when we have weather like this, British people, when they talk to you more, two occasions when they talk to you more. One is when the weather is very good. Two, when the weather is very cold. These are the two times they will talk to you more. Goddess will agree with me. Having been in this country for so many years, you think that they don't chat until the weather becomes nice like this, or it becomes very cold. Then you meet them outside, they will talk to you about the weather. So that's the time, two times they talk about weather in this country. So now when you go out and you're walking around, you see some of them half naked, because once they see little glimpse of sunshine, it's like, oh my God, they feel that they think they're in the sea, on the seaside, and they'll be walking around half naked, and they'll be talking to you, telling you about the weather. Are you enjoying this weather? Someone does. It's like, yeah, we follow when it's summer for us. Yes, so that's it. Yes. Oh, Nana Foodies, welcome to the house. Thank you so much for coming. Happy Sunday. I appreciate you all being here today. Thank you so much. We have an important discussion, and when I get into the discussion, then it's going to be very interactive, and it's going to be funny at the same time, because we're talking about older generation type of marriage and the newer generation type of marriage. There are some pros and there are some cons. And remember, we have to have an open mind, because what I think may not be what you think. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm going to, based on the fact that I was raised up my own parents in those days, those are the ones I call older generation. Then people in my own generation who now have children, who are getting married, we are, I don't know what to call us now, a bit older generation, yeah. And people like yourselves who are here, you are the newer generation. You are the ones with raising children up now. You are the newer generation. The struggles that my own parents had when they had us, in those years ago, I'm a product of the 60s. Early 60s. I'm a product of the early 60s. So that meant that I grew up in the 60s into the 70s. Yeah, I started my secondary school in the mid 70s. Most of you here were not even, maybe your parents were not even married by then. Most of you here, never mind you being born. Yeah, so that I'm a product of the early 60s, went to school 60s and the 70s, and then very early 80s started my nursing school, and then the rest became history, and came to the UK. And so there's been a lot of changes. Remember, I got married in Nigeria, had my first child in Nigeria, left Nigeria and came here. So most of my married life, to be quite honest, has been spent in the UK. So you can imagine, I have to try and balance things up. Those of you who are they may be about my age, but you have never left Nigeria. All you've known is that Nigerian type of marriage. For those of you from Uganda, I'm sure what I'm going to say might be peculiar to Uganda. Uganda is an African country. Nati is from, I always keep forgetting where Nati is from. I know she lives in New York, but I've asked her before, are you from Barbados? She said no. She has told me where she's. I'm sure she'll be upset with me that I still don't remember where she is from. Nati, please don't be angry. If you're still here, let me know where you are from, so that when we start chatting, let's see. Nati, she had her name. She's like, what is it? Saint Kitts. Oh, Saint Kitts. Oh, that didn't even ring a bell from what you told me before. She's laughing. Tell us, Nati, then, where is St. Kitts? Because what we're going to be discussing today will be interesting to know what goes on when it comes to marriage. Because when it comes to marriage in Africa, and Nigeria to be precise, I have to be talking about Nigeria. That's where I came from. And I know that Nana Foodies is from Ghana. And I think Ghana might be similar to Nigeria. But I'm going to be talking from Nigerian perspective because that's where I come from. And I don't know, oh, the Caribbean Sea. All right. Okay. Yeah, Nati Slim is from St. Kitts, the Caribbean Sea, but she lives in New York, NYC. And yeah, thank you for clarifying that, Nati. I appreciate. And Nana Foodies is, as I say, is from Ghana. Blessing is in Nigeria. She's a Nigerian. Gores is a Nigerian. She's here in the UK. Onyi is from Nigeria. She lives in Abuja. So what I'm going to be saying today, I think your own parents, those of you who are here, your own parents might be my own generation. So it's interesting to know whether some of the things I'm going to say concerning my own marriage is something you have seen in your own parents. You will know my own parents' generation obviously will be your own grandparents. So you may not even know. Some of you may not have met your grandparents. And if you're one of the lucky ones that met your grandparents, that's a fantastic thing. That's very good. I never got to meet my own grandparents, not even from the mother's side or from my father's side. I did not meet any of my grandparents. And of course, my own mom, I'm sure I've told the story here. Those of you who have been following me for a while will remember I lost my own mom at a very tender age as well. Well, tender. When you are a teenager, you are tender. Yeah, when I was only 17. And yeah, but the interesting thing about that is that even at that age of 17, now I'm talking about my generation and how we grew up and how we are raised up. Even at that 17, when mom passed, I remember every day, every time. I remember, it's just like yesterday. This happened when I was 17. I'm 62 now. So you can imagine how many years ago, but I remember everything. I remember how we were deceived, how they came to the school, our secondary school, myself and my younger sister, how they came to the school to deceive us, that dad and mom wants us to come home, that they're doing a Thanksgiving service for my mom, who was a bit unwell at the time, that they're doing Thanksgiving service. And we are like, myself and my sister, I was like so happy. Oh, mom is okay now. Let's go for Thanksgiving. And my younger sister was just looking at me thinking, are you okay? And she said, how can you be rejoicing? I said, what do you mean? She said, the dad that I know, who does not joke with our education, will not come and call us in the middle of, and put a Thanksgiving in the middle of our school, not even school holiday, not even just for us to come for. What kind of Thanksgiving is that, sis? Can't you even reason it? But to me now, 17-year-old, wow, talking about death? What? Who? Passing away? Who? For what? She was only 48 herself. Just a baby. I mean, I'm 62. Look at me. So you can imagine what a 48-year-old will look like. So, but what I'm trying to say is, even as I'm talking about it now, I'm getting a bit emotional. That shows you this happened many years ago in the 70s. But what brought me to this story is the fact that discipline, that training, you're from Nigeria. Nana Foodies. Really? clarifying that. Oh, I've sold you to my Ghana people. I sold you to me. When Nigeria were messing up, I belonged to Ghana. I went to Ghana for some time, but I'm back to Nigeria now. Maybe things will get better when I come back. So I'm back to Nigeria. I was a Ghana person when Nigeria were messing up. Nana Foodies, oh my God. You have honestly, I've always taken you as a Ghanaian. I did not know that you're from Nigeria, Nana. I think it's maybe that Nana Foodies, Nana, because I know that some Ghanaian people, they say Nana. I thought Nana is from Jamaica. Oh, Nana, see, we are giving you different places. Now, God has thought you're from Jamaica. Nigeria, based in US. Wow. Honestly, I thought you're from Ghana. Lady Posh TV, you're welcome to the building. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Jamaica, she said. Wow. Okay. Based in US. Interesting. You see, it's good to know these things because sometimes you watch people's video. I know that if I don't always say, oh, I'm based here in UK, or when I'm doing my walk around vlog, I'll say, oh my God, this is UK weather. People may not know where you are. I just say UK. I don't really say where in UK because everybody in Africa, when you say that you are in UK, it's London. Everywhere is London. I'm not very far from London though, but somebody who lives in Manchester, even when you ask them in Nigeria, they will tell them they're in London. That makes it easier for them to understand where you are. As far as they are concerned, UK is London. Wherever else you're living, that's your business. If you start telling them about Manchester, about Welling Garden City, about Hertfordshire, about Birmingham, they're like, what? So, UK, we're in London. That's it. I see her eating Nigerian food sometimes. I don't know. I think it's her name. That Nana was what made me think that she's from Ghana more than anything. It's just her name. So thank you everyone for coming. So I was telling a little bit of story about my mom that passed when I was only 17. But what I was coming to, London. Yes, London. But I'm telling you that everybody that is in UK, they always think that the person is in London. And some people just decide to just say that and stop, unless the person knows UK and say, oh, but which part of UK are you in? You can now start talking about the part. Otherwise, the person have no clue where you are. Oh, Tanya is in the building. Thank you so much for coming, Tanya. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm heading the day in style. I'm in bed. You're in bed at this time, Musisi. Over there should be 6 p.m. or so, or 7, something like that. Are you already in bed? Anyway, thank you. So we're talking about marriage in the past and now. Tanya, I know that Ujono who gave you Nigerian name. I think it's Ngozi. Tell me if I'm right. Is it Ngozi that she gave you? But Tanya, please, where are you from originally? We are trying to catch up where people are. I've now caught up from where Nachi Slim is, from St. Kitty in Caribbean Sea. So I've caught that up, and I've caught up the fact that Nana Foodies is not a Ghanaian. She's not from Ghana. She's from Nigeria, but she's based in the US. Tanya, please, where are you? But I know Tanya is not a YouTuber. Tanya is a supporter. No, she supports as much as she can. She's not a YouTuber. I know. So welcome, Tanya. Thank you for coming. Which part are you from? We're talking about marriage today. What it used to be in my own parents' time and my own time when I raised my children, and what it is like for people who are raising theirs now. What have changed? Because a lot have changed. USA, yes, you're from the USA. I know that. Yeah, I think, yeah, of course, I know I should know that you're from the USA. Thank you so much, Tanya. So we're going to go into that, but before then, let us have a word of prayer, because we can't do anything without praying, so our God can lead us, put in our mouth what we're going to say, and be Las Vegas. Oh, I would love to come to Las Vegas. You know how they pronounce it, how Americans How you Americans pronounce some things is not the way we pronounce them. Even here in the UK, with the Queen's English, we don't pronounce it as Las Vegas. Not Las Vegas. The other day, I was assessing somebody who is coming from where is he coming from? Los Angeles. Yes, he was coming from Los Angeles to come and work here in London. And I was interviewing him. I was doing an assessment, like pre-employment screening. Tanya is laughing that I'm trying to speak some American accent. Right. So I was interviewing this person. Not interviewing, I was speaking to him over the phone because he's going to come over here to work in the UK from Los Angeles. And I'm like, wow. I said, and he's coming to work as a teacher. And I said to him, I said, are you prepared for the right English, the Queen's English? And he was laughing his head off. He said, yes. And I said, are you prepared for the fact that when your kids, the children you're teaching in class, when you ask them to write check, as in checkbook, they're not going to write CHECK. No, they're not going to write that. Make sure you don't mark them that. He was laughing. I said, when you start teaching them and you want them to write check, as in writing a checkbook, and if they write the proper way, the English way of writing check, don't mark them down, because you in America, you call it CHECK, like checking in, checking out. That's not check in UK. He said that I've already beginning to understand that in a hard way, he said, because he has to make all these inquiries. And I said to him as well, when you ask them to write favor, and they write favor the right way, English people write favor, don't mark them down, because there won't be you in the favor. And the way you write in America is without the you. He said, he was laughing. Why he was laughing so much is that he said that he has already prepared and looked up all these things, and that he has to wear the British hat as soon as he lands in Heathrow, and then remove the Los Angeles hat, because we have a way of pronouncing and writing things here in, I wanted to say here in Nigeria, here in the UK, especially that checkbook, that check one, it always baffles me when they write check. I'm like, checking out? What has that got to do with checkbook? But that's how they say it. So he said that was one of the first ones Tanya is laughing. Tanya, but it's true. When sometimes I wonder how our people who are over there, obviously they will have to change as soon as they get there. But if you write favor without a U here, the English teacher will mark you 0. You failed it. But obviously, it's another place like where you are, it's spelled like that. Okay, let's pray, and then we can get into this discussion, because you know me, I go from one thing, I'll enter another one. Before you know it, I'm talking about something else. I will forget why we are here today. Because why we are here today is very important. But before then, a word of prayer. Our gracious Father and our Lord, we thank you. We worship and glorify your name for a day like this, a day that we have all woken up. If we have had any issues today, we will not be here, but we woke up. Not all the people that went to bed last night are awake today, but here we are, Lord. You made it possible for us to sleep, and we woke up this morning. Thank you so much. And today, for us Christians, it's the day that we go to church to worship, or those who worship in the other different ways that they do, because I'm a strong believer that where 2 or 3 are gathered together in your name, you are in their midst. So, thank you for today, that we have been to our different ways of worshiping you and worshiped you, and thanked you for making it possible for us to be here today. I pray for everybody present on this live stream now. I pray for everyone who will join us later. I pray for everyone who will replay this live stream, that what we're going to discuss today will be of benefit. It's going to be interactive. It's not one size fits all. There's no right or wrong way of what we're going to be discussing today. But it's always good to hear from other people's examples and stories and whatever, to know whether we're going to apply that in our own situation or not. That's basically what we're going to be discussing today about this marriage in the past and marriage as it is today. Be with us as we talk, as we discuss, and be with everyone who will join us later. Everyone is covered in this prayer. Thank you so much once again for today. The month of August, by next weekend, next month of August will finish, and we're going to enter the Ember month. We're so grateful. Thank you for everything that you do and continue to do in our lives. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Beauty entered, and that prayers, she got it for herself and her family. She got it. Thank you so much for coming, Beauty. We'll just sing one song and we go into the discussion today. I'm happy that I have a variety of moms here. Moms who have got young children, very young children. Moms who have got children up to the age of 13 when they start their teenage years. And some of them will always remind you, in case you, who is their parents, have forgotten. They'll always remind you as if you have forgotten. Remember, I'm now 13. Or remember, I'll be 13 next month. I'm sure some of you who have got teenagers will identify with this. So we're going to start with the older generation. When I was born, my own generation, and then I will talk about the generation of when I raised my children who are your age, some of you, most of you anyway, my children who are your ages, and then you who are now raising up your children now. We're going to touch these three angles for you to see how things have changed. Some of them for better, some of them for worse, some of them indifferent. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk today. But before then, I'm standing on the rock. I can't be standing on the rock and I'm sitting down, can I? So let's sing this. After singing this, we'll sit down and get into the business. I'm standing on the rock. I'm standing on the rock. I'm standing on the rock. Jesus is the rock. I'm standing on the rock. I am standing on the rock. I am standing on the rock. Jesus is the rock. I dey smile, I dey smile, I dey smile. They say wetin dey make you smile. Na him I tell them say, Jesus is the rock. I dey dance, I dey dance, I dey dance. They say wetin dey make me dance. Na him I tell them say, Jesus is the rock. I dey laugh, I dey laugh, I dey laugh. They say wetin dey make me laugh. Na him I tell them say, Jesus is the rock. I am standing on the rock. Are you standing on the rock? Are you standing on the rock? Jesus is the rock. I am standing on the rock. I am standing on the rock. Are you standing on the rock? Jesus is the rock. I dey dance, I dey dance, I dey dance. They say wetin dey make me dance. Now you might tell them, say, yes, Rose, thank you. Welcome to the house. You're dancing with me. You're welcome. I dey dance, I dey dance, I dey dance. They say wetin dey make me dance. Now you might tell them, say, Jesus is the rock. I'm standing on the rock. Are you standing on the rock? I'm standing on the rock. Jesus is the rock. Yes, Jesus is the rock. He is the rock of ages. And when we are standing on him, we are not going to sink because he's the rock of ages. The rock of ages. I have a new name in the building, unless this person have been before and I can't remember. Ngozi's Creativity. I love that name. I love it when people are creative. Greetings, my dear. Unless I've forgotten, remind me, have you been here before? Because this name, if you have been here before, this name would have clicked. Creativity. I love creative people. I would love. Are you a YouTuber? I would love to come to your channel to see what you create. You know how creative you are. I love that name, Ngozi's Creativity. Wow. Are you new? Are you new to this channel, Ngozi? You're very welcome to this family. Everybody in the building, please welcome Ngozi's Creativity. You know how we do it in this family. Everybody you see here are very authentic. I changed my name. So who are you? Some of these people confuse me. Don't try to confuse me. You know, I can easily be confused. What's your name before? Oh, you're new. You say I changed my name. Okay, you changed your name, but you are new here. Okay, but what was your new name before? I'm a new so. Oh, you're new. Oh, thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Please, everybody, welcome Ngozi's Creativity in the house. And I see another name, Flavio Bagotse. Let me read this from my phone. It's easier. Flavio Bagotse Official, Don Arts. Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, this name, I've not seen this name. Oh, my name was Anita's Art. No, I never even knew you as Anita's Art as well. So it's good that you've connected. Thank you so much. I will, you welcome to the family. Everybody, please welcome Ngozi's Creativity, and also welcome Flavio. God, Flavio is not also a name that I don't think have been here before. Please connect with me properly in any of my short videos. Leave me a comment. I would love to serve as many people as possible. And hey, while we're even at it, because each time I come to my subscriber, they say 2,960, 2,958. I don't want that 2,000 something again. I want us to get to 3. So that we can now be saying 3,000 subscribers. This 9,600 something, I don't tire me. It's been there for a long time. So I'm glad that new people are coming. And those of you who are here, make sure you share me out so that others can come. I want by the next time we do the live stream, let us be talking about 3K. Not this 2,900 has been there for the past how many months. But I don't want anyhow people just to count the number of subscribers. I don't need people know now. I don't want anything like that. Let us just be crawling small and get authentic people. I prefer that way. But yeah, it would be nice for us to move up a little bit. Thank you so much for coming, Flavio. Thank you so much, Ngozi, for being new to the live stream today. We have an important discussion. We have just prayed before you both came in. We pray. I hope you have faith. I hope you believe in prayer. Even if you don't, you have already prayed for you by fire, by force. That's how we do it. We've already prayed for you because that's what we do here. Our chat, our live stream will never be complete. It will not be the same without singing, a bit of dancing, and we have sung some songs today. And we have prayed. And the prayer, when we prayed, we said we covered everybody, those who are already here, and those who are going to join us, and those who are going to replay the live stream. You see, everybody has been covered this live stream today. We do this every Sunday. But, yeah, now that I remembered, Mommy, with her vibes, it's people like you now, Rose, Oni, all these baby girls, all of you are making me then to have vibes and try to, measure up a little bit now. I'm going to be talking about marriage in those days when we got married 40 years ago. I'm going to talk about marriage now that those of you are married maybe 5 years, 6 years, 2 years, whatever. I'm going to talk about my own parents, their own marriage, and then let's see what's up. Let's see what has changed. Let's see what we have to hold on to. Let's see what we need to drop. And he's laughing. Let's see what we need to drop. What has worked? What worked for my parents in those years, so many years ago? What worked for me and still working for me 40 years on? What is working for you all now? Those of you who have been married 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. What is working for you? Is there anything you think that we need to tweak? Are there things that our parents did those days you are like, hey, I don't know how my parents did this, so I don't even know how they managed that, because me, I couldn't have managed. We are going to talk about them today. When I'll start, and then I'll drop the link, because I want to hear from other people, not just me talking. You know how we do it. People come on stage to talk. And look at that. Who just came into the building? People should watch her. She has come. This is my daughter that just came now. You know that this one, you're seeing her name there. All of you know who I mean. She just landed. And when she lands like this, you all have to be careful. Last week, she was so naughty. And then after the live stream, look at her, some assaulting. That's what she does when she comes. Last week, she was so naughty. But as soon as I finished the live stream, whose call did I get on my WhatsApp? And she was telling me how many lashes of cane that she needs for what she needed for what she did. She was telling me that I can just flog her. I said, you are telling me how many lashes of cane you need because you know it's virtual. Virtual flogging does not get to mean anything. 4 years, I still there small. Your own is 4 years. Don't worry, my dear. Before you know it, you'll be saying 40. See Ngozi creativity. This is her first time of coming. She hasn't been to this live stream before. And look at how she's laughing already. She's laughing so much. She hasn't even, this is her first time of coming. She doesn't know what we do here. Here we are serious. We are not serious. We are, we mix everything. When we want to be serious, we are serious. If not, we just laugh. And this is what makes me to feel and the way I feel inside me because of people like you. You will just make me forget. When I see you people, sometimes I forget that, I say I'm not in the same age group with them, or they're my children. But it's good to relate with your children now. You laugh with your children, you are friends with your children. So that all of you are making me. Yes, Ngozi, do you know her before? It's my spicy. Ngozi's creativity. She used to be Ngozi Art, something like that. Anita Art, sorry. So this is her first time of coming to the live stream, and she's already laughing too much. That's what I love to see. I'm enjoying my people. Did you see what Ngozi said? That she's enjoying the live stream. She hasn't even seen anything yet. She hasn't seen anything yet, though, and she's enjoying the live stream. The only thing is we do this every Sunday, Ngozi. I have 2 channels. Normally, last week, my other channel, Ifechi Health and Wellness, was 1 year. So we celebrated 1 year on that live stream last week. So what I do, alternate Sundays, I do on Ifechi Family, and the next Sunday I'll do on Ifechi Health and Wellness. That reminds me, my lovely people, next week Sunday, I will be in Birmingham. Wait for all the videos that will come up from my Birmingham trip next week. We're going on Friday, coming back on Sunday. Going to be 3 nights in Hilton Hotel in Birmingham. Wait for that. So that's where I'm going to be. I'm not going to be on live stream here on Sunday coming. But the following Sunday, by the grace of God, which will be the first Sunday in September. We're going to thank God for bringing us into the Ember month. But next week Sunday, I will not be here. I'll be reporting on my normal channels from Birmingham. I'm not going to tell you what we're up to, what we're going to do in Birmingham, but you are going to see that from my vlogs and from my sit-down video. No, there won't be any sit-down video. As the hot there, I go there throw them. I don't know how to speak broken. People should teach me. Where is Naja daughter? Where is Rosemary Okpekwe? People should train me so I know how God. Why can't I know how to speak broken? I'm from Nigeria. Never mind that I've been in UK longer than Nigeria. It doesn't matter. I'm still from Nigeria. I should know how to speak broken. Blessing, isn't it? Blessing Asimota, Oni. All of you in Nigeria now. Shouldn't I know, even though I've been in UK longer than I've been in Nigeria, but I'm 110% Nigerian. Why I no go know how then they speak? I'm coming. How I no go know how then they speak broken? No, pidgin English. I don't get them. I'm learning. Rosemary. If you see how I wait for Rosemary's market vlogs, If you see how I used to wait for her and this, and if she speaks any good English to them in the market, I vex, I provoke. I'm like, Rosemary, somebody see looking at you, they're trying to learn broken, and you try to speak good English to them. No, don't speak, because sometimes because of her, she want to speak the proper English, then she will go back to broken. I'm like, yes, you heard me. Make you they speak and make you they speak and to them for broken. So me, I go they catch them, I go they learn. I they learn from her, I they learn from Niger daughter. These are the two I can remember that speaks, broken English the way I they catch them small. So me, but can't even say anymore. Rose, look at all of them are laughing at me. But a blessing is a wow. Yeah, you blessing as someone that are also laughing with them. I don't even know what Spice will be doing in her own. She'll be somersaulting with laugh. But she doesn't even know how to speak in broken herself. I haven't heard her speak broken, so she can't even laugh. Yeah, I don't know where AA is. I don't know where AA is. I'm very disappointed I didn't see AA today on this live stream. Very, very disappointed. But it's okay. It's okay. I hope that is because she's busy. Because normally, even before I start, she's already here. I'm preparing the Yoruba. I'm representing the Yoruba land. Oh yeah, Musisi's name. Musisi is from Uganda, but his Yoruba name is Olalekan. Olalekan is his name, and I've also given him Igbo name, which is Chinedu. He doesn't like Chinedu. I don't know why. He prefers Olalekan. He doesn't even know what that means. I've given him very nice name. He doesn't like it, but he's having that name by fire, by force. So Musisi, Olalekan, Chinedu, Kizito. But he's from Uganda, but he's now Nigerian. We have adopted him. Say no more proper English. Yes, Rose, tell your namesake. When she goes to those markets, let her just remind, because of me. When she starts to speak her normal good English, let her remember, Mami Fechi will be watching. She's waiting for this. I can't afford to let her down. Tell her, don't go there and start speaking. I wait for your village vlog to hear the proper pidgin. Not everybody knows how to speak it like me. But I think most people are better than me. Me, I just cut and join. I dey cut them. I dey join them. When I sang that song, I dey dance. Not be broken. I dey laugh. They say waiting, they make you laugh. So that one, I can even sing in pidgin English. What am I talking about? So I'm trying. Right. Let's go to the business. Let's get to business now. Let's get to the business of today, which is marriage in marriage in those days and marriage now. Right. As I said before, people that joined us. People should leave me and my broken. Stop laughing. We have finished that one. We're now back to business. Ngozi's reality. That is how we do it, and we're now back in business. No more laughing. No more. Let us talk about this. And once I start, I'm going to drop the link in case anybody wants to talk. Right. In a nutshell, what I want to say today is, in my generation, when I was born, as I say, I'm a product of the early 60s. So grew up in the 60s, grew up in the 70s, went to secondary school in the mid 70s up to the 80s. And yeah. So how were things in those days? How were we raised up compared to how I raised my children up, compared to how you people who have young children now are raising them up? In a nutshell, when we are growing up, we saw our parents as all in all. Whatever they say, whatever they do, they are never wrong. They are always, Mama said that we should do this. Papa said that we'll do this. And once they say, what they say is law, and we'll just have to do it. In my own family, and I'm sure it happens to every family, you have one particular parent that you fear more. We shouldn't be fearing our parents. We shouldn't. And that's what I tried to do when I was raising mine up. But let me talk about my upbringing. There shouldn't be any parent that we should be afraid of. Mommy is still laughing. Who is still laughing? You or me? Okay, you say I'm still, I can't afford that. Me, the day I will start being serious in this life, Just like sometimes when my husband will do something to me that I just like, and then he will do something, I'll start laughing. And I'll be angry with myself. I said to myself, you shouldn't be laughing. Eh? You should be angry and you're laughing. Why are you even laughing? I'll be quarreling with myself for laughing when I should be angry. Hey, Chineke. But yeah, it's better to be laughing than to be quarreling and upset all the time. So growing up, I'm sure, I don't know about some of you, maybe your own generation, maybe it wasn't like that. But when I grew up, there's a part, it has to be one. Not two of them can be that at the same time. Unless you had parents like that. I did not. I had one parent who is the one that I'm always afraid of. Today is not a giveaway day, but can somebody put there which one of my parents? Is it my mom? Is it my dad? That I was not, I was always jumpy about. You may get something that I won't tell you what it is. Whoever gets it right first, tell me which of my parents growing up in my own generation, who did was I worried about all the time, or yeah, yes, you have won something from me. Yes, my mom. My mom. You know, my dad, yeah, somebody else says mom. Yes. I think maybe it's common then. It's common for it to be mom. I think it's common, especially in those days. Oh, I think I saw code. I saw code coming from Scotland. Eh? A Scottish laddie is here. Thank you so much for coming, Code. Thank you for coming. You're welcome. All the way from Scotland. Thank you. Hey, he says Musisi was timed out by Ifechi family for 300 seconds. Ngwano. Ngwano. When? How? Oh, you wanted to type mom. Okay, good. Yeah, it's always mom. But let me tell you my story a little bit. Did you people see that? He said that Musisi Kizito was timed out by Ifechi family for 300 seconds. How? When would this, this thing, eh? When did I do that? Musisi, are you back? 30 seconds, 300 seconds never pass. And how did that even happen? My food and life history. The best woman in the world. Hey, you're making my head swell. Oh, I see. This is another son of mine, all the way from Kaduna State. Is it Kaduna? Am I right? From the north, anyway, northern part of Nigeria. I know one knack of when he lives in the north. Thank you so much. My food and life history. You're very welcome. And for that wonderful compliment, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. That's, I always say that, all of you, not you people. Hi, if I even ever thought of, stopping YouTube because of all of you, no way. Mbano, Makagini, who will be making me to laugh? Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back. I'm going to move that now. Once I'm a little thing, I'll go off rail and start talking about something. But I want to know that Musisi is back. My people, how did I time out Musisi for 300 seconds? Code is very good when it comes to technical things. Code, tell me, did I touch anything? How did I do that? Code. If you want to know about these technical things on me, please connect with Code with Samuel. Code, how did I time out Musisi? I can't see his comment now. Musisi, 300 seconds never pass. And how did I do that? None for me though. What do you mean by Rosemary? What do you mean none for you though? Which I didn't get that. How did I time Musisi out? Biko, how do I bring him back? Didn't you see that right up there? I said that I timed him out for 300 seconds. How did that happen, Code? Oh, expressing my views. Thank you so much. You are supporting me today with your Gores Corner and expressing my views. Thank you so much. Maybe it's night boat. I don't have it. Me. When I see what Nightbot does to people's channel and all, how he tells people off, sometimes he's so rude to people. I'm like, I don't know what that means, and I'm not having it. So I've never done that, but I don't know how I timed moderator can release him. He's a moderator. Who else is a moderator here? My Spicy, are you a moderator? You can too. How do I do it, Sam? If I told you, we have variety of people here, people who know what they're doing with this YouTube, and people like me who can just talk too much without knowing little technical, little computer thing. I don't know what I'll do here without Daddy here. Every minute I'll call him, do this for me, check that, do the other one. And we have people who know what they're doing. And we have people who can just talk. Talk is cheap. That's what Frank Bruno said, that talk is cheap. So for me, talk is very cheap. Sit down there, you talk, you research, you talk, you just talk. But when they ask you to do small things like bringing Musisi back, I can't do that. Oh, he's here. The other one, it will be 5 minutes. Ezioku. Oh, wish I have lots of data. Oh. My food and life history. You have lots of data by God's grace. Just put your data. Just put data and be here with us. Because I know you're not yet married, but you'll be married, and you're going to listen to what you're going to say. Put more data, and I know what I mean. Put more data, and then we'll sort it out. Yeah, put more data and remain here. We're not going to waste time. Yeah, Musisi, welcome back. How did I time you out? Let me use this one. Oh, you're using a different one. How did I time you out? The other one, it will be 5 minutes. Really? I went, okay. Anyway, so let's get on with it. We're not going to waste too much time today. Try clicking on the 3 dots beside. Okay, but Code was telling me what to do, but Musisi is back already. That's fine. Okay. Thank you. Oh, Jane entered when I was talking to him. I told you my own thing is to talk. We all have I wasn't talking like this before. My husband always said to me, is it this YouTube? You were not talking like this before. Now, in Abazi Afa, for those who understand Igbo, I will hear you sometimes when you're on people's live stream to say something. Onuganada. That's what YouTube does to you. So those of us who can talk, those of us like Code and Musisi who know about these technical things, and those of us who can cook. Hey, ndị na-esi ite na this YouTube. Those of us who can cook. Right? You see this my life and food history. If you're not connected with him, please connect. It's a young man who does all sorts. Tuwo kanchafa or tuwo nkozo. You know how the northern people call it. He does them because he's over there. He will do this. He will do that. He will do that one. I'm like, hey, for a young man, this one a husband material. He's not yet married though. My life and food history is not yet married though. If you go to his channel and see what he does with his hands, please, if you're not connected with him, please connect with him. Oh, he used to be CFan Best. When I knew him initially, it was CFan Best, but now he's My Food and Life History. That's his channel name. Please, all of you who are here, who are YouTubers, if you are not already connected with each other, please do. We are everybody you see here is very, 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 very authentic. Yeah, very authentic and organic. We are not people that will go to people's channel. Even if I don't like that particular video, that video will run to the end with all the ads, even if it means putting it on silent because maybe I'm not getting on with what you're saying at that time, but it will run to the end. That is what we promise each other on this place. Not all this you upload 6 minutes video and you see the retention 2 minutes. What now? We don't do that here. So please, if you're not connected with anybody here, just take the name down after the live stream, because we don't do connect and I connect in the middle of live stream here. We don't want to be distracted. Let the only distraction be me talking too much. Instead of getting on with what I was saying before, now I'm talking about something else. Do you people see what I mean? Let that be only distraction we have here. Me going from one thing and talking about another thing. But when it comes to connecting with each other, please take the names down and connect after. That way, you connect properly. You know, this thing, you come to people's lives and say, oh, I've just been to your house. How? We just started 2 minutes ago. How did you go to their house and back? What did you learn? What were they saying in that video that you just been and back? I don't like that. You know, so when I'm in a life and somebody said to me, oh, Ifechi family or whatever, Ifechi health and wellness, I've just been to your house. I'm like, to do what? What did you do? What did you see? What did I offer you in that house that you just been for 2 minutes? I know I have 2 minutes videos, but that's beside the point. The point is that when you want to connect with somebody, connect properly and, you know, yeah, make it a family. That's why we are here. We are family. Yeah. Juba is in the building. Thank you so much for coming, Juba. You're welcome. Oh, Binoy. You know, I thought it was B Joy I saw, but it's Binoy. Binoy Vlog Creation. I'm seeing quite a number of new people today on this live stream. I'm so happy about this. Binoy, have you been here before? The name rings a bell, though. Binoy Vlog Creation. Have you been before? Or are you new to this live stream? Please. Obviously, you're a YouTuber because Binoy Vlog means you're a YouTuber. Have you been before? If you have not, please watch one of my short videos. Drop me a comment. I like to connect with people properly who have been, who are in the house. Husband material 1,000 years. Yes, that's what my food and life history is. Yes, go and see what he does in his channel. Nimanambe, thank you so much for coming. Now I'll stop welcoming people. Whoever comes in now, Musisi, please do me a favor and welcome them. Let us get straight to this point. So the question that I asked before was, who can guess, my mom or my dad, who was more stricter when I were growing up? Obviously, everybody said my mom. Yes, although my mom, as I say, passed on when I was still a teenager, but for that number of years, up to that 17 years that I was before she passed, did she show me pepper? Yes, because I was a tomboy actually, because I grew up in a family of 7, 1 son and 6 girls, and I'm the 5th girl. 5, 6, 7. Am I number 5? 1, 2. I'm number 5, the 5th girl, the 5th daughter, and that's why I think they were wanting another boy, and I came along, and they didn't know what else to do, and they named me Ife Yunwa, meaning that's see well in Kajibe. No, there's nothing. There's nothing like child. Ife Yunwa. That's my full name. Maybe that's why they named me that, because I think after how many girls they want another boy. No African thing now, but another girl came. Hi, Gidiwam. I came as a girl. But I wasn't a girl when I was growing up. I was a tomboy. This person you see here, when BMC says Ifechi wisdom, I laugh. I say, thank God for that wisdom. Oh. Thank God for getting older and wisdom, because I wasn't like this. I was tomboy. I don't wear, those days you don't wear trousers or whatever. I normally wear short inside. You know, that kind of PE. I don't know whether you still wear it in school now. That type of PE that you wear, the blue one, it's like down and up all together. I wear it inside before I wear my school uniform in case there's a small fight after school, so I won't be naked to go home. That was me then. So my mom was like ready for me. This one, don't know where you came from. You know how our people will say, this child, where did this one come from? But at a point when I received Christ into my life, even before I got married, I started mellowing down, and then marriage now sealed it up. Nema is not laughing. I was a tomboy. This person you are seeing here. So that's why when I ended up with 4 boys, my tomboy nature came back. When I was raising my children up in Scotland, if you see us, they wear jeans, I wear jeans. They run, I run. They climb, I climb. That's how, because I was already a tomboy who tried to be a lady after I got married. And then 4 sons came, my tomboy nature went back. Boys, what do you want to do? You want us to climb mountain? Let's climb. Jeans on, trainer on, let's go. So my tomboy nature came back, because all those boys, all those brothers that I didn't have in my family, having all sisters, I now have them in my sons, 4 of them. So we are my tomboy went back. Anyway, talking about my mom. When I do something like that, when she knows that this one will go to school, anything, in fact, anything that they say that I did in those days, my mom will say yes, she did. You know, when you're that kind of child, it's not good though, because people will come and say all sorts about you, and your mom will say yeah. I say, Mama, but this one is not true. Mature, no, I know you very well. Hey, I said, this woman, but did she actually? Is she really my mom? Why is she? Why does she hate me so much? People will come and say I did something like what I didn't do. You say yes, but because you used to do, so you may have done. Hey, Chineke, you used to do, so you may have done, and I'll be flogged for something I have not done. Lovely name, mommy. Yeah, okay, my name. Hey, I love my name. Oh, I love my name. Ifeyinwa. Nothing like child. Hmm? Nothing like child. You just anyway. So my mom will flog me for what I've done, for what I have not done. That's why when you have children, learn them, because as I had 4 children, 4 of them were so different. God forbid, none of them had ever done, even though they were born in this country, none of them had any need for us to get police or whatever involved. But if that had happened and police would come and knock on my door when they were growing up, they won't even finish saying what they've come for. I will know which one it is. And there's one that they will mention, but thank God, all the time they grew up, there was nothing like that. And it's to the glory of God. I wouldn't say because of me and my hobby, we did a good job. Because if you're in this country, especially in this country, raising children up, you understand what I mean. It's not how much you raise them up or how good you raise them up or whatever. It's the grace of God. But what I'm trying to say, if at the time I was raising them up, there was any need for policeman to come and knock on my door and say, your son, before they open their mouth and close, I know which one. And that one, it will be the one. But there will be one that they will mention. I will say, you're on the wrong door. Officer, bye, just go, because you're on the wrong door. This is not the one. And that's how you should know your children. So that when they now disappoint you, or when they do something and you're like, hey, I am so disappointed. I did not expect this from you. I thought I knew you so well, son or daughter. I thought I knew you so well, but you have disappointed me. Mommy, leave me. Bless him. Bless him. Laugh. I can see all of you laughing, but it's true now. It's true. And so that time, my mom, I remember that one pained me so much. I said, Mama, this is not fair. What they just said now is not true. Mama said, whether it's true or not, don't you do before? Don't you go and fight before and tear people's clothes? You do. You did. Hey, Chukunna. Did that make me to hate her? No. Did that make me to say anything that some of the children will now say or even decide that they don't want to speak to you again? Yes, some children do that. They don't want to have anything to do with their parents because they think that they are heavy-handed in managing them. I'm coming to that. But going back to when I was raised up, my mom will lock me because you know that if she doesn't lock the door, I'm a tomboy, they'll say, wait, I will go under her leg and vamoose, run. So she will lock the door. She will get her akbulepe. You are so young, all of you may not understand. There's one cane they used to call akbulepe, means that one doesn't break. It's not this time you say you go to the bush there. When my children were growing up, I'll get this wooden spoon. When they do something, I'll bring the wooden spoon out. They'll start running. I just laugh. I say, you people don't know anything. Spice is laughing. Do you know about akbulepe, Spice? My mom had three of them. Who are they for? Mainly for me, because my other sisters were so cool, like cucumber, especially my youngest one. And I always fight because of that, my youngest one. But she's so, because of that, people just want to fight her. So I'm always defending her. I'm always fighting on her behalf. But you know, if I was doing that and then started doing that again into my older age, and when I got into a marriage, then I'll be a fool. All those things were things you do. There are things you do in the past and they remain in the past. You know, things are different now. Something happened to me when I gave my life to Jesus. Things are different now. Something happened to me When I gave my life to Christ, what I do before, I don't do them now. What I say before, I don't say them now. Things are different now. Something happened to me when I gave my life to Jesus. Honestly, things are so different. And if in our life, things are not different, the way we were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago is still the way we are, because there are people like that. There are people in my age group. The way they were before, they remain like that. And when you talk to them, hey, that's my nature. That's my nature. Just leave me alone. If your nature is good, asigijide kiiji. If your nature is not good, rapu kiiji. Meaning, hold on to it if it's good. If it's not good, drop. Don't have that kind of words. Oh, that's my nature. I can't change it. You can. Yes, you can. If you make a conscious effort. As I say, I'm doing a series on wisdom. My first series on wisdom is coming on Tuesday. Watch out for it on Ifechi Family. We're going to talk about wisdom, because some of the people I've dealt with over this past is all, I can see a lot of lacking of wisdom. And as I said before, some of you came in, that wisdom does not mean, it's not about age. I'm not talking about wisdom on my channel because I've been married for 40 years, or because I'm in my early 60s, or because I'm so experienced in my workplace. It doesn't come with that. Watch out for those series. We're going to talk about wisdom, because when you have wisdom, a lot of things like we're having now about marriage, a lot of it won't be a problem. If you just have a little, just wisdom, you will not have problem. So when I was looking at this, talking about this marriage, what it used to be now and what it used to be before and what it is now, this word came to me, wisdom, and I decided to do series on wisdom. The first one is coming up on Tuesday. So growing up, so my mom did all that, and my dad retired as a chief inspector of police. They used to say about my dad then, oh, they have never seen a senior police officer like this who goes to church. He said in the church he's one of the elders in the church, he's this, he's that, nothing like bribe and all that. No, all he knows is his God. And that was how we were raised up. And my dad was very quiet man. For a policeman, sometimes you wonder what kind of police you be, safe. Policeman that is so cool as cucumber. No, nothing. But one day, I can only remember one day growing up, one day only, that my father flogged me. And after that flogging from my dad, I knew that I needed to change. Papa Piamitare. If it's what my mom is doing, I let her get on with it. That's what she's best at. But for the day my dad flogged me, my people, that was when I sat up. That was when I started behaving. I said, you're a girl, you're not a tomboy. Stop. And that was it. So what am I trying to say? Growing up, you will see your parents as role models. People are like, bless it. But it's true. My father flogged me once because he's a very quiet man, he's a chief police officer, but he does not look for anybody's trouble. Why did my dad flog me? My dad flogged me because I went away with my two younger ones, because I'm number 5, so I have two younger ones, girls. We went out. I can't remember what we went out to do. My youngest sister threw a stone on somebody's car and smashed the glass. I wasn't the one, though. She did. But I did not tell her off. To me, it's like, well, you just shrug your shoulder. There was no sign of remorse. And when I came back, I did not report it. I did not tell Dad that actually, when we went out today, my younger sister did this to somebody's car. The person actually knew us. They did not say anything. We did not stop. We did not, just as if we didn't do anything, and went home. And the person came to the house after, in the evening, to report to Dad. These days, if it's this their police thing now that they do in Nigeria, how dare you come to a chief inspector's house to tell them that your daughter smash their glass. In fact, they will even smash your tire. In fact, that your car will be seized. But that wasn't how it was then. Dad was so upset that I disgraced him. I said, Papa, but it wasn't me. Remember, he said that it's her. I said, shut up. Who is the older one amongst them? And what did you do when you came back? The first thing you would have done is to tell me, so I can start on time to know how to. You see what I mean? This is the upbringing. This is what I'm talking about. It's not a case of maybe when that man came, it's like, don't you know my rank? Don't you know that these are my children? They did it. Then those children will be useless. And that's what we see these days is power. People think that they are doing favor to their children. Their children don't have any fear because my father is this, my father is that. Thank God it's your father that it is. That, who are you? You, growing up. Who are you? My father, where is he today? My mom. As I say, I was only 17 when she passed away. If she had been one of those moms that would just leave you to do as you like, come as you are, when she passed at 17, I would be all over the place. And maybe join some of those people. But I maintained myself. She instilled in me what I needed to know about Adam. She didn't do some of them in the right way. Let everything that bites in the night be mosquito. We are moving. We are here. Look at us today. But did she get it all right? Did they all do it right? No, they didn't. But because we knew that these are our parents, they are doing what they could at the time and available, the time what they have available. That's what they are doing. They're doing their best. And if their best is not good enough for you, tough. But that's how we were raised up. So after all that my mom did, she would flog me, she would lock the door, she used that koboko. Yes, she would use that to flog me, to flog sense into me, but that did not help. And that's where I'm coming to now. So that's my own upbringing. I was loved by my mom so much, was loved by my dad, but they were disciplined. And this I am flogging. That's where I'm going to come. So in those days, you fear them. That's why you are so afraid. But we never, some people fear their dad because, oh, Papa is coming. Oh my God. No. We went that. Papa is coming back. We are so happy because we are sick and tired of this flogging from Mama every minute. Instead of correcting you, it's flog. We doesn't have to be, it's cane. It's cane in your mouth. Say, yes, I use my mouth. People don't hear. The only thing you hear is this cane. I have to flog. That's what they knew at the time. Did I blame them for that? No. Because that's what they thought is the best way. And sometimes some of the moms will tell you, wait for your dad to come back today and you'll see. And you're all over the place. And when that your dad comes back, oh my God, you go and hide somewhere, they'll be calling you. You'll be there as if you're not there because you're so afraid. Is that the right way? No. So that's something I learned. But it worked for us because that was our generation. It worked. We did not have that animosity. We did not blame them so much, even though I blame Kalobele small. Say like, this one, Mama, But after flogging you, you'll be crying. The next thing, if anyone, because it's going million. Hey, I'm like, even after this flogging, she still wants me to go and get water. Will I say no? Of course not. You have to go and do it. In this generation, some of them, you need to pay them to do house chores. Some people did. I did not. Now, I'm not going to say whether it's the right thing to do or not the right thing to do. I'm not here to condemn whatever anybody did. But in my generation, some of my people in my generation, they will pay their children for them to wash their plates after eating. Hello. Some people did. Is it the right thing or is it the wrong thing? I don't know. But I did not. Because I didn't think that's the right way. You see, whatever works for you, you do it. Whatever works for you. So that upbringing that I had, did I like it? No. But did I condemn my parents for that? No. Because to me, it was just the norm. And I grew up that way. And I became who I became till today. The health talk, when I started my menstruation at 13, because 4 years before my mom passed away at the age of 13, my health talk or whatever my mom gave me was that she has seen me that my eyes is like this. Who knows which one you will do next? She said, now that you're seeing your period, if you see any man and talk to that man, you're pregnant. That's your business, and you'll be on your own because I'm going to. I'm like, don't even have time for that kind of thing anyway, but they have to give you that kind of what they call sex education in those days. That was she told. And you know what? I ran with that. Literally, I ran with that kind of advice. I thought it's true. Oh. So if you're a man, sometimes when I got married at 21, people were surprised because when I was in nursing school, all these people were going with this I was at EN hospital, Gidi, doing my nursing. Some of my colleagues will go with this Ndi Omata, those who are Nigerian will know, or Igbos will know. Ndi Omata, they will always come down to EN hospital, pick them up in the evening, go and ETCA, do this and all that. Hi, when I look at them, I'm like this, oh my God, oh, these people are gone. They're all pregnant because they're being touched by men, they're being taken away by men. Literally, I ran with that. In fact, my friends, when they saw that I was getting married, even before most of them, they're like, how? Where? Who? Because I just ran with that and kept myself until I got married to my husband. Some of those things have helped to build our marriage. We talk about our first time and all that together with my husband that you see now 40 years on. We sit down sometimes, we laugh, and we talk about those things. These are some of the things that has united us and has made our marriage to be as strong. Some of the things, I'm not saying that that's the only thing, but when you look at somebody you married, you know, that's so naive when it comes to that department, and that, but years on, everything was your look at, I'm making all of you laugh, but it's true now. Yeah. So that was the type of family sex education that I got from my mom, and I ran with it. I think it helped me because when I saw those ones, I'm like, hey, I'm just waiting for them, looking at their tummy. After 1 month, 2 months, I saw them being carried by men the other day, going to Onitsha to ETCA. Let me see, after 3 months, what will happen to their tummy. But to me, literally, that was me. That's how I thought would happen. But anyway, the rest became history because a few years after I met my husband, my divine appointment. Yeah, it was divine appointment. That's all I can say about our meeting. I was just 20, going to 21. And that's why everything was done 1 year after, so I can get mature a little bit before I now say the proper I do. So everything was done. Bride price was paid after 1 year. Traditional marriage was done after 1 year. Church wedding was done. So my upbringing, that is how it was. My parents were just like, sorry, my mom. But that one day that dad flogged me, there was a turnaround. You see what father figure can do. I'm like, the papa does not flog anybody. He will just look at you. Only looking at you, you know that he's angry and you don't want to upset him. But that very day that I did not do what I'm supposed to do, it wasn't even me that did the thing directly, but because I was the senior among them, I should have done better. I received this flogging from my father. And as he was flogging me, I could see in his face that he didn't want to flog me. He needed to do it. And that was a turning point in my life. All those ones that mama has been doing, locking the door and flogging me, I'm like, that will not prevent me from fighting when I get to school tomorrow. I'm going to put my PE inside. I'm going to put my uniform on top so that if they tear my dress, I have something inside so I won't be naked. So you're flogging me, it's not going to stop that. You see? So that's not the right way. But did he help me to some extent? Yes. But did he help me to know how to now raise my own children? Yes. So I've gone past that stage of me being raised, how I was raised up. I don't want to go to other nitty-gritty, but this is just the discipline side of it I want to bring out, and also the sex education side of it. You see, if people have heard the wonderful sex education I got from my mom at the age of 13, that's it. And that's it. That was how it ended. Not even asking me another time. I hope you haven't been speaking to her. As I say, Okuchago, that's it. And I ran with that. So let's leave it there now and then go to when my own generation, when I raised my own children up. I did not have girls. So it was a bit different for me than those of you who have both, or those of you who may have girls. Oh, yeah, it's in the building. Sorry, my dear. I just said to Moses, you're not doing your job. Moses is maybe he's sleeping. He said he was in bed. Maybe he's sleeping. I said you should be welcoming people when I'm talking, so I'm not distracted. You're welcome. I don't know who else came in when I was talking. I've already welcomed Juba. Jane L, don't think I've welcomed you. Gifts, I've already welcomed you. Yo, thank you so much. Beautiful story. I never remember experience about. Yes, I remember you saying that your dad passed when you were younger. Oh, yo, I remember you saying that. Yes, yeah, I had that experience. Yeah. My own is the other way around. My mom was the one that passed early, but at least I was 17. Some people, at that age, some of them who did not go to school get married. So I wouldn't say I was a baby. At the same time, I was still young. But yes, I had my father's presence until he died at the age of 91. So he took on, and hey, that's another thing. Before I leave my upbringing and come to the upbringing of my own children, and then your own, the way you're raising your children now. When my mom passed, my dad took on the responsibility of both mom and dad, and he did it so well. All those flogging and all those nonsense and being afraid of it is gone. But ask me, would I have wanted my mom to have lived 91 and maybe still flog me until I got married? Yes, I wouldn't mind, because to me, that was how all they knew. I miss, losing her that young. But the thing is, what she instilled in me at that age of 17 remained with me till today. I still remember her as if it was yesterday. It remained in me. So it's not how much or how long, it's how far. What did you get out of, just like any relationship? It's not how many years you've been married. People say, oh God, you've been married for this many years, let me come and listen to you. No, it's not everybody that has been married for 40 years that you listen to. It's not everybody that has been married for 60 years that you listen to and get something that that can work for you. And it's not everything that works for me that will work for you. Even if I tell you how we run our lives from the first year till this year, it may not work for you, because we are all so different. And what we need in life and what my husband or what I take serious may not be what you take serious. Sometimes people come and complain to us about something that their wife or husband, and I'll just laugh. I'm like, is that all? Yeah. To me, it's nothing. But to that person, it's something, and it's serious, and you should treat it serious, because the way they present it, you should treat it that way. Don't use your own example. Maybe you say it out or in your own mind. My husband does worse than this now. What is this one? Go and rest. Her husband is not your husband. So don't ever compare anybody, no matter your number of years of marriage. Don't ever say to the person, is that all? After all, my husband does. You start with your own husband. Who is talking about your husband now? This person come to tell you something. Instead of dealing with the issue at hand, you now bring your own husband or your own wife into it. In fact, I don't know what to say to people, somebody who does that. No. It's not how long. Yes, Oyoyo. It's not how long. I know people that are over 20 years and the wife in the marriage and hoping and enjoying their life with their children. And yes. It's not how long. So when people see us and say, oh, you're married for 40 years, this year, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not how long. I've told you people here about some of our friends, 41 years of marriage, they're not lost together now. So what happened over the 41 years? Were you managing? Were you pretending? Yes. My spicy deal breakers differs. What somebody might see now and say, if my husband does this at the end of this marriage, somebody will say it and say, is that all? This one, this is why you want to end this marriage. This is nothing to me. You see, deal breakers are so different. So when you hear from people, go by what they say and how they present it. Give a general advice. Don't start giving them example of your own, please. Some people do that a lot, and it's not because they do it because they think that they've been married for so many years, so that they are now using themselves as an example to talk to the other person. That's a big error. Like I am now, you come and be presenting something to me Because in my head, I've been married for so many years. I was even married before you were born. And now start telling you what my husband would have done or what I would have done. I'm not a good counselor. In fact, I shouldn't even be talking to married people. I shouldn't even be recognized on anything. No. Listen to the person, give general advice. Don't tell the person what to do. And if the person asks you direct question, but mom, have you ever had problem like this in your own marriage? And you say, of course I have, many times. So how did you deal with it then? I've had questions like that. Now the person is now asking me direct question. So how did you deal with that then? I'll now tell them. And as I'm telling them, I'll tell them this is how I dealt with it. It doesn't mean that if you go that the same way that your own will work. It doesn't mean, because your husband and my husband are not the same. What my husband may tolerate, your own may not tolerate, and vice versa. You see, some people in the midst of counseling people in marriage are damaging marriages. And that is my concern. When people come and tell me some of the things they've heard from people, with all due respect to pastors are not your mentors unless they are qualified, unless they have the experience. And I'm not talking about experience as in them getting married or them reading it and having that knowledge of reading. What you read from a book and what you have done with the experience, that's so different. But if you have that kind of pastor that is your mentor, without judging you and without telling you that you have to come to them first, that if you have any issues, you come to them first. I don't know what to say. I don't want to go to pastors now because that would take my time. I don't want to go there. But there are some of them. There are some seasoned pastors that can give you good advice and are balanced. I love balance in my life. I don't like people pointing finger. You go there, they'll tell you, but you are the wife in the home. You shouldn't be doing that. As a man of God, I'm telling you this now. You shouldn't be doing, and people, because they're afraid of them, they're shaking like a leaf. Okay then, okay daddy, whatever they call them. Okay this, okay that. No. Mind who you seek advice from. So that was my generation, how I was raised up, all that flogging, all that one time that my dad flogged me, that changed everything. I don't forget that. And as he was getting older, and doing one of our visits, I sat down with him. I said, "Hi, Papa, did you remember that's your one and only flogging of me when I was growing up?" He said, "No." I said, "How can you forget that flog? It wasn't even for what I did." I said, reminding him, it was every, as I said, he died at 91. And he now laughed. He said, "Well, but at least that helped you. It helped to rebuild your life." I said, "Yes." And it became something that I was laughing with, because at that time, I didn't find it funny. Why are you flogging me for what my junior sister did? Why? But I did not take it against, because it helped me. It helped to rebuild my life. That was a turning point in my life. So what is the turning point in your own life? What is the turning point in your children's life? Let us not spoil them. And as much as I don't like that way of flogging, I never had any cane in my house when my children were growing up. It's a case of this wooden spoon that we used to cook. When you bring it out, they don't like it, they'll run, they'll behave. You're not even using it, but you just brought it out. Because to me, that kind of flogging, when my mom used to flog me a lot, I became resistant. You know how people abuse antibiotics? And you become resistant to antibiotics. So you can take so many courses of antibiotics and your immune system is used to. It's not antibiotics. After you took some last week, you're taking some again this week. What would that do? I'm resistant. Just be taking them, just be bringing it on. It doesn't matter. So you became resistant to cane, to flogging. I'm like, is it not flogging? I'll just go there and fight anyway. When I come back and they report me that I fought, Mama will flog me. And after that, the next time I plan another fight. It's not, so you see, it didn't help. Maybe to some, until my dad was the one that never flogged. He'll use his eyes, he'll use the way and tell you things. But that one day that he flogged me, I got it. But all those years Mama was flogging me, I did not get it. Because to me, I don't flogging or beating. Of course not. It's not the way. It's not the way. Let me read some comment before I now talk about this generation. General advice. Yes, Evelyn. General advice. Managing and enduring is not working for me. I believe marriage should be, of course, marriage should be enjoyed. Okay, you don't worry. Yes, our husband. Anyway, I'm coming to that. Okay, I read that one. Deal breaker. Okay, differs. Managing the pen. Yep. General advice. Yep. Wisdom. Thank you. So true. Thank you. You're relating to my life. Musisi, really? You know what? I think it's a stage now where I can actually invite. I want this to be interactive. I don't want this live stream to be too long. But I want to hear from others, because it's very interesting to know. Because what Musisi just said now struck, meant that, yeah. So it'd be nice to hear from others as well. Because Musisi said that you're relating to my life. You see? I swear, Yo-Yo and Mommy, I'll share something about this particular issue. Really, okay? Level of tolerance are different as well, and with growth. Yes, Goris. Mommy, my own was a time flogging that I got from my mother, and it was around 18. At the age of 18, really? Can you imagine flogging an 18-year-old in diaspora? You haven't flogged the window at 5, really? You see, we're all. But does that prevent Oyoyo? Are you Oyoyo all the time talking about her mom? My mom this, my mom that. Because her father passed away when she was younger, and her mom did it all. Despite all that, we still love them to bits because that's how we can't condemn them, because that's what they think. They're doing the right thing. They don't want you to be useless, and they think that that's the way to do it. Was it the right way? To us, no. But to them, yes. And we can't condemn them for that because things move on. Okay. I don't like flogging and beating. Yeah, I read that. It makes some want to rebel later. Yes, flogging is not the way. Marriages are the same. Likewise, child raising. Yep. No marriage. Don't go and start looking at your friends' children and say, "Hey, look at how they behave." I wish my own is like this. No. Leave what is written in the body of the car and enter the car. They walk out. They go. Don't ever compare or think, I wish I am this or I wish I am that. No, don't mind what you wish, because you're not inside the house with them. Like some people, in fact, one of them have said it to me on some occasion, or a few occasions. I wish I am. They're talking about my husband, and I'm like, you don't. But she said, but I know what I'm saying. I've been to your house a few times. Blah, blah. I said, still, mind what you wish, because nobody is perfect. Don't wish anything. Build on what you have. Some people will not build on what they have. They'll be looking outside, looking at how somebody's husband held their hands when they're walking down the street. What is that all about? That's what we are looking at. Hey, my husband, when we are walking, she's walking in front instead of walking beside me and holding my hand like my friend does. Forget those things. So let me not even go there. Me that is so quiet today. Stubbornness make my mom spray me pepper. Okay, when that's the thing, when we are all like this and people will see us and they're like, oh, look at this. When we tell you where we have been coming from, you see, look at Evelyn. Look at how quiet as cool as cucumber she is now. Her mom used to spray pepper. Her mouth, since that day I stopped what I was doing. That's the thing. As I said, my own wasn't pepper, it was just that flogging. I'm like, I got resistant to it. I'll go and do it anyway. What would she do? It's not to flog. See, that's not good. Until my dad did it once, and I knew what's up, and that was it. My mom was wondering what changed, what's going on, but she got it. She knew what happened, because dad got involved. For him to flog me, I thought that I'm not being naughty. I need to change. But the one you are flogging since, to me, is the normal thing for you is to flog me. He wasn't flogging my sisters like that because they were not as mischievous as I was. So she wasn't, it wasn't like she's that type of mother that keeps flogging her children. No, my mom wasn't like that though. But it was just me. It was just me. My other sisters were, in fact, when she started flogging me, if my Adanne, my oldest sister, comes in, that's why she locked the door, because she knows that when she starts and I'm shouting, my older sister will come on the door and open the door. Will say, my mom must stop. She was, so when she now starts, she now locked the door with the key and put the key, tie the key in her wrapper before she starts flogging me, so that my sister will not come in. So she wasn't like that with everybody. So she's not like the mother that keeps flogging all her children. You know, the way I was a tomboy growing up. So when you see people now, and when I talk sometimes, it's out of experience. And I was that like that to some extent, you know, even growing up, when I don't really sort of care so much what you think, I'll just tell you off and waka pass. But when I had Christ in me, Christ changes things. Things became different. So now I'm saying, if you had remained the way you are since growing up and then keep saying to people, that's how I am, I can't change myself. No, that's a big error. You have to try. I'm not saying to change who you are. However, if what you're doing, everybody is pointing at it, you're so rude, you're so harsh, you're so this, you're so that, and then you keep saying, that's how I am. What does that mean? That's how you are. Meaning what? If what you're doing is not right, we're not saying, no, how we normally say, oh, you can't change anybody. Of course, I understand. But what people are saying is the same person. You go to this place about you. You go to that place. Hi, that one, don't go. Her mouth is so this thing. That person, that woman. They're talking about the same person, and they are telling me that that's how you are. You can't change. Good luck to you, especially as you're getting older. You tell me you can't change, and you have children who are now like, they emulate you a lot, and then you tell yourself that you can't change, and you're raising children and you want them to be good. You're wasting your time. And we're saying don't change it. You don't change anybody. When you get married, husband, don't try to change your wife. Wife, don't try to change your husband. Try and change yourself, because there might be something you are doing. Maybe the way you're responding, you're not responding. The way you're reacting when they do something may make them not to change. But when they behave in a certain way, the way you respond, let us learn to respond in marriages instead of reacting. You see a big difference. Let me give an example. When your husband or your wife does something, let's just take a very small example of, you like the toilet seat to be down all the time. Each time he finishes using the toilet seat up, and he never puts it down. Because that one has caused a problem for families. Yes, something as small as that. So instead of calling the person when you enter, as soon as you saw that thing is not, you shout from them from upstairs to downstairs. I can just see that you have used the toilet again. The toilet is up. You didn't put it down. All the time. Do you think that your husband will now start running, or vice versa, will now start running upstairs where they are to come up to put the toilet seat down? Of course not. Because of the way you shouted at them or the way you said it. Do you think they're going to respond or react? Depending on who the person is, the first thing will be to react. If you just close it, then what is that anyway? Does it matter whether it's open or not? The person has reacted. There's no responding. Now you are now reacting back. What do you mean? I always close it. This thing I'm telling you now is a big problem for some couples. And I'm like, I said, you know what? People don't even have problem. If this is a problem that is causing problem in a home, then people don't have any problem in your marriage, actually. What would have been the best thing to do? Because I personally like to have the toilet seat down. What would have been the best thing to do would be, you come again, you did it, and they use it, and they didn't. And they come themselves, and they see that it was down when they come, and they finish, and they go again, because they're used to leaving it just like that. And when you come and use it, just put it down again. Keep putting it down. One day they will get it. And if they don't, you can now say whatever you call each other. Each time I come to this toilet, no, I prefer it to be down, but each time I come, it's up, and I put it down. You may even hear your husband say, oh, really? Do you know what? I don't even remember, I don't even think that it's something that needs to be, oh, okay, I'll make an effort. I'll try. You see, they're now responding to what you say. They're not reacting back. Action and reaction are equal and opposite. Sometimes what is causing problem in relationship should not be problem. Are you reacting or are you responding? How? Oh, my son, course rep is in the building. Thank you for coming. I hope nobody else has come in that I did not recognize. Thank you so much for coming. We're talking about marriage in those days, your parents' age course, which was obviously maybe around, maybe not quite my own parents' age, but my maybe a bit younger. We're talking about how we are raised up, the fact that we are flogged a lot and all the rest of it, and that we became resistant to flogging. It did not actually mean anything, but we got something out of it. It helped us at the time, because that's all that we could see. And we're not talking about how, in my own generation, how I raised mine up. The fact that flogging, for starters, if you do it in this country, you know where you're going to end up. Because they'll go to school the next day, they'll see a little mark on their body. Or they'll be moody in the class. They will not be happy. You're teaching them and they're like, yeah. Because maybe you even gave it to them before they left for the school in the morning, because for something they did not do immediately they woke up. You gave it to them like they will do back home, and they will go like that. Maybe God help you if there's any mark on their body. But even if there's no mark, they are moody. Their class teacher will ask them, why are you like this today? Why are you not happy? They don't tell like, oh, Linda is in the building. I think I saw your name before, Linda, when I was talking too much. I didn't welcome you. You're very welcome, Linda. My spice is up the stage. Yes, let me just conclude. Give her time to talk. Welcome, my dear. So,
Mommy, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, my dear. Thank you so much for coming up. Let me just finish this my thought now. So they will now ask the child, why are you unhappy? Why are you looking like this? There's no mark in their body. You haven't done anything. And they will say, oh, I'm not happy, because they will now open up immediately, and they may even start crying. Hey, God help you. And say, what? Come. They will not take them outside to talk to them properly. What's going on? Is it not my mom? They would say, because they're not the type of guys you say, if you go out there and say anything, they will say as it is. What happened? They will now say that they smacked them, or you did this, or you did whatever next. It becomes a problem. You are now under watch. You hear social services coming to knock on your door. And then that child have now noticed that there's now, somebody that can intervene, that I can actually go and be unhappy in school, and they'll ask me, and they'll come for my mom or for my dad at home. Good. What would that make that child be like? Getting worse. Because it's no longer a case of you're flogging them or you're doing anything. It's a case of you're even spoken to them in a harsh way, and they're not happy. So that's we're now talking about different scenario now. It will no longer, that time your mom shouted or flogged you, you went to school and say it. Your teacher will give you proper flogging. That's why I'm glad your mom noticed that thing you do in school. That's why she flogged you. They will give you another one. So you don't even open your mouth. But here it's the other way around. So what's the best way? When they were growing up, mine, as I say, you get that cane out, they will run because they don't like it being flogged. There are many other things you can do. You can ask them to go and stand on the wall, face the wall, and punish. Just a little bit of punishment like that. Sometimes you ask them to write imposition or whatever. I can't remember. We used to do that to them. They ask this word, write this word 1,000 times, and they'll be there, and they'll hear their brothers laughing and watching their cartoon or whatever. They're like, oh my God, when is it going to finish? Blah blah. They want to do that, and then they learn from that. So subtle type of punishment like that. And then in love, talking to them, advising them, telling them why you've done what you've done, because it's so different from when I was raised up. How I was raised up, was that the best way, flogging me all the time? No. How they are being raised up now, the fact that you can't even raise your voice, is it the right way? No. But you just have to find a balance. You need to strike a balance, or you lose the children, especially those of them who are being brought up in the diaspora. You have to strike a balance. find a way, and always explain to them why you are doing what you're doing, why you have asked them not to join their brothers or their siblings to do something because that they were naughty. You are naughty, you did this, you spoke to your mom this wrong way, or you did that to your brother, you shouldn't be doing that. This is why. Explain to them why you've done what they've done, and then ask them, why did I just ask you to sit on the wall or face the wall? Oh, because I did this. They will now tell you what they've done, and next time it will help them. Just be consistent and be prayerful. I can't even emphasize on the prayer, because no matter what you do, they go out there, they get mixed up with people of all sorts, especially now. It's even worse. Those of you raising up your children now, I doff my heart for you, because it's even worse now when they will tell them you can become what you want to become. So after teaching them at home, if you are not soaking them with the blood of Jesus every time before they go, you're not soaking them with the blood of Jesus before they go, they'll go out there and all that you have said will just go off the window. They will join the crowd. But when you're soaking them and you're talking to them in love and you're bringing them nearer you, they will actually go out there and influence some of their own friends in a positive way. Instead of them influencing them in a negative way, they become an influence for their own peers out there. They will have to be consistent. And let me tell you, no matter what you do, no matter how much you try, some of them will still go the other way. And you wonder, I did all this. You see some parents crying all the time. I did this, I gave up this for these children. And still, it may still happen. But at least do your own best. I agree. When my daughter was younger, I placed her on timeout. Yeah. Yes. Little things like that. For this, when we grew up, we are tough skin and all that. Now they are ajebota. So there's small thing like just putting them on timeout, putting them to go and stand on the wall, putting them to do this. It pains them so much. They don't like it. So they are what they call ajebota now. So small thing like that will pain them. Our own time is different. So when you come to any realm, in any stage in this world, you know where we are and how to handle the children and what to do. But please be prayerful. Lay your hands on them before they leave the door. A lot is going on out there. My Spicy, let me hear from you. Let me not keep talking because there's a lot to say. I don't think we'll cover this topic in one day. I don't have live stream next week. Maybe the week after, the following week, we'll still come back on Ifechi family before we go on the health. We'll still come back on Ifechi family and finish this discussion. I don't want this live stream to be longer than 2 hours, and we're almost 2 hours. My Spicy, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Mommy. Greetings, everyone. I've been listening and laughing at some of the things you say, and I can see a lot of similarities in your time and our time. Yeah. Back then it was my mom also. We call her Munyonyame. My father was an ex-military man, so we call her Munyonyame, old soldier's wife. But my father hardly touches. Like, it's hard to see my dad touch anyone. But my mom, any little thing, Oga would take that's something they call it, that strong cane that doesn't break. And then she has our koboko.
That one doesn't break. It can be there for years. Yes.
Thank you. It got to a point. There was a day I was questioning if she was really my mother. I don't know if any of you have had that experience of questioning if this person is truly your biological mother or you were adopted.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So, but then, growing up, after my mom passed, there's something I noticed. What she taught, or what we were, thinking she was just flogging for no reason. That was when I began to understand the kind of discipline she gave to us. Without those disciplines, I won't lie to you. There are certain things, even up till now, I can't find myself doing as an adult.
Yes.
In my 40s now, I am still very conservative. There are a lot of things I cannot catch myself doing. Why? Because of that upbringing. If she hadn't maybe instilled that fear, maybe, just maybe, I would have been so free to do so many things today that maybe I'll regret.
Absolutely.
So many things I'll regret. A lot of children today, if you touch them once, they become traumatized. Yes, because they were not raised with such discipline. They are very soft. The society is becoming softer in as much as it's getting worse. But parenting it's no longer the way it used to be. If you try it, you either get into trouble or the child may even run away from you. Unlike those days,
That's the thing.
where are you running to?
That's the thing.
So, but there is no really any manual for child raising as it stands. Every parent will just do according to what they feel is best for the child. What is best, the interest of the child. So long as the parent know deep down within them that this is best thing for the child, because there are some children, no matter what you talk to, no matter how much you talk to them, from now till next year, they will never listen. If you sit them down and talk, it's as if it will enter through one ear and it will just vanish through the other ear. So the only thing they know is to flog that thing. Flogging is what the child understands. And there are some children that no matter how much you flog it, they will still not correct that error until you sit them down and talk. So every child differs. So the way and manner you handle one particular child may be different from the way and manner you handle another child. It all depends on the individuality of the child. Know who your child is, like you said. Know their temperament. Know their behaviors. Know their characters. Know what works for them. If you sit Chichi down and talk to Chichi, Chichi listens. You may sit Blessing down and Blessing will not listen. Blessing may be too afraid of Koboko and will listen. So I cannot say this is the best method. The only thing is parents should just observe their child while they are growing up. And early is better. It is always early. It is always better to catch the child early enough. When you notice certain attitude about a child, you try to correct it at that early stage. Do not let a child form a particular habit before you try correcting that habit.
Exactly.
So when you notice that this child is likely to be like this, you begin on time. That is why they say early. The earlier the better. Catching them young. If you try early, you may at least you may get them to a certain percentage. But in as much as you try early too, there are some children that some other peer may influence their decisions or their characters in life, and everything you instill in them may still vanish. So everything still boils down to prayer. Trusting God for the guidance, trusting God that whatever it is you are instilling into them will stick. Knowing fully well that you are custodian, there is nothing you can do 100% that may work. Only God will help with a better solution. So parenting has really changed. It's no longer like it used to be. You touch any child now, some children may cry from now till tomorrow. It has really changed. It has really changed. So thank you for this great topic. Honestly, this is something worth watching and listening by every parent, because some parents have given up, others are tired, others don't even know what else to do. They don't know what else to do. Some parents are behind bars now as we speak because they raise their hand against their own child. They are cooling behind bar because they try disciplining their child.
And those children are now taken by society and then just allowed to do what they like, and those children are regretting that, I would have preferred to be with some of them are behind the bars just because of what? So we are going to continue this discussion today. As I said, there won't be any live stream next Sunday. I will be away for the weekend. We'll have a bank holiday Monday here in the UK on Monday. So we're going away on Friday, come back on that Monday. So there are other aspects of this discussion I want us to touch on, which we cannot all cover today. But I thought I would just start it today to talk about them. But honestly, give me those days when I grew up. I know I didn't like the flogging. It wasn't the best way. The health education, the sex education wasn't the best way. That's not, you don't say that to any child now anyway, and they will laugh at you, because if you don't tell them, they'll go to the school will tell them, or their friends will tell them, or their gadgets will tell them. In those days, I can see you now, Ngozi, or their gadgets will tell them. So there's no point in talking rubbish or just talking around things and not coming straight to talk to your children, because if you don't talk to them straight, they will get it straight from even their peers. So there's no point. Better for you to start on time to tell them these things yourself and save yourself that future, worry and anxiety. Ngozi,
Okay, I'll
creativity.
drop now. Ngozi, welcome. I'll
Thank
leave
you.
now. Thank you so much, Mommy. We'll miss you
Thank
next
you so
Sunday.
much.
Then, no
That
problem.
is Spice It Up with Tonwa dear. I know she hasn't been active for a while, but that's her YouTube name. Thank you so much for this, your wonderful input. I really appreciate. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Ngozi, you're
Welcome.
welcome. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, my dear, I can hear you. You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for having me in your platform.
Yes, thank you.
I'm really learning a lot from you because you
Oh,
are much older than us. So we, the younger ones, we have to humble ourselves and learn from those who have experienced life. And by the grace of God, we will learn and have more wisdom on how to go about life. So thank you so much for that.
you're very
Well,
welcome.
I think it all has to come. My contribution is this. I think it has to start from the grassroots. It has
Yes,
to come from the parents themselves. Because no matter what we do, if the center is not holding, things will fall apart.
of course.
So
Of
before you
course.
even start thinking of how to bring the children into the world, you as a single person have to ask yourself, what are your values? What are your norms? And if you are somebody that is conservative, or if you are somebody that is responsible, you are God fearing, you have no business looking for someone who has a different value, somebody who doesn't have the fear of God. Because if you end up marrying somebody like that, what kind of children are you going to raise up?
Exactly.
So if you are somebody that doesn't have the fear of God or something like that, and you go and marry someone, both of you must have the same values, you know. So when you have the same values, it is easier for you to discipline your children, raise up responsible children, things like that. So this is just this what I have to say,
Thank you.
you know.
You're very
Because if
correct.
you are if you are telling your child that you have to be respectful, and the other spouse is saying no, you are taking this thing too far, you are too strict, then what will become of the child? So no matter what no matter the wisdom you have, if your
Yes.
spouse doesn't is not on the same road with you, there is little or nothing that you can do, especially if you are the woman and the person is the other person is the man. You sometimes have to submit to the man for peace to reign. And at the end, what is the result of the children? So let us also remember the grassroots, the foundation,
Yes.
especially for those who are single. If you are a single
Yes.
person, you're watching this, please, you have to put lots of things into consideration. Don't say your mate has married and you want to marry. You have to be
Mm,
very, extremely careful, conscious of the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You're not just marrying a husband, you are marrying somebody who is going to be the father of your future children. So you have to put
yes.
this, forget about you are tired of wearing a shebi, you want people to wear your own. This is
Mm,
something you're going to spend the rest of your life with till you die. Don't
mm,
spend the rest of your life in misery, seeing your children turn out to be something you didn't want them to
right.
turn out to be. There is nothing like two people with the same values, the same norms, and it is much easier for you to together with two heads, in unity, bringing up your
Yes.
children the way you want to bring them up. So this is the
Yes.
little I have to contribute. Thank you, ma'am.
Wow. Thank you so much. This is not just little, this is huge. Do you know, you've come from a different angle that really next time we need to dig deeper into this. And that is, I've done a video on my channel in the past, which is what is the root cause of the problem? What is the root? The value is very important. If you are married and you don't have the same value, or before you even, I've talked about this idea of people getting married, my mates, or people are telling them your mates are married. What are you still doing in your father's house? Or even their own parents will be telling them, their mother in particular, look at you. I've always been I've gone to Ada's this and I've got to Nkechi's own. When is your own? As if your daughter will marry herself. Some parents are even pushing their children into this so-called marriage. Everybody don't have to get married. And if you have to get married, everybody don't have to get married in their 20s or even in their 30s. I've seen people who married at the age of 40, 41, a lady, and they still had about 3 children. So it's not a case of rushing, because sometimes of these problems, even before we even start talking about raising children, is the fact that couple, husband and wife, don't have the same value. So you are very spot on this area you just touched now. What is the root cause of this problem that we're having? In a family, I've seen one where the father and the mother are not saying the same thing. So the children are playing one against the other. They know that their dad will not do this and their mom will do this, and they will go to one person and ask. And the other spouse did not even ask the child, what did your mom say or what did your dad say? They will just agree and give instruction, whether you are the man of the, whether you're the head of the home or not. It still had to be a joint decision when it comes to raising up children and what they want. Sorry, Evelyn, you are trying to connect. It says the same thing that he did with Ngozi when she was trying to connect. He said device is not connected. Yeah, log off and come back again. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. Yeah. And yeah, so it's not, they are very clever. They can rope one again. If they know the weaker one, they will go to that person all the time. And if you are the kind that you're not working together with your spouse, instead of asking them, I remember when my children were growing up, when they go to dad to ask for something, dad will say, what did your mom say? Have you told your mom? And I remember they were so young. They said, Dad, you are the head of the home. Why do you have to ask mom? Dad will say, no, I may be the head of the home, but I work together with your mom. Have to ask your mom first and then see what she says. And then both of us will now decide whether it's okay. And they grew up like that. So they stopped asking him that question whenever he says, in fact, they will now come to me and say, look at this. I say, okay, I'll discuss that with that and see how we do it. Let the children see you as parents who agree on things, not one person. Oh, especially when the man is saying, oh, I'm the head of the home, and he gets a lot of money, and the wife, the woman in the house, don't know what the children are doing because they go to their dad and tell them they did this. I know men, when they have the money, sometimes they can just overspend. They don't care how much they spend. You must get your wife, two of you must be working together. Some of the problems we have in marriages with children boils down, some of them boils down to the fact that parents are not working together. So that's the root cause of the problem. Where before you even start jumping on the children, how are the parents? How are they working together? Are they working together? Are they singing from the same song sheet? Are they praying together for these children? Or is it a case of you are praying with your children and their dad is watching television and the children are watching? Why is daddy not following us to pray? And the mom will say, well, I've asked him to join us, he's not joining us. No, yeah, these things, we have to agree. Yes, agreement matters. There must be an agreement. Two cannot work together unless they agree. And two cannot raise these children to the best of their abilities unless you work together. Yes, you may still work together, you may still do everything, and you still have problem. At least you don't have regrets. You know that you have done your best. And then face it, continue with prayer, because sometimes things will just happen for you to be tested, to know how much you are going to continue with. Because some of these children are here to test us, so they will be like, you're like, where did this one come from? What is this? Look at your siblings that this. One of them can stand out to be the one that will give you problem. But what you must not do as parents, no matter how bad the situation is, please do not use harsh word or say anything that you regret in future. Don't say anything that you regret in future. Sorry, before I continue, hold on. Natty is going. Natty, thank you so much. I see what you wrote there. You say some kids have special needs and hitting them will not do anything. For example, an autistic child. That is very correct. I saw that I wanted to come back to you, but I see that you're going now, and I thought I needed to touch on that. That's right. That's true. You know, people don't understand this autistic thing. Even back home, they call it naughty, and the child will be beating the child. The child will still be behaving the way they're behaving because they don't even know what they're doing. So that's a very good point, Nati. There are quite a number of autistic children. And yes, we still have them back home, but sometimes unless they're diagnosed, people don't even understand. And even if when they're diagnosed that this child is autistic or they have behavioral problem, people will say, God forbid, it's not my portion. And they'll start beating. They'll even want to beat that autism out of the child. That is not the way. They start buying and losing. Yes, it's good to buy and lose, but you have to face reality. If that child has been checked out and there's something with developmental issue or they are autistic or they have attention deficit hyperactive disorder. All these things are being diagnosed now. And when it comes to you, don't brush it aside and say, oh, it's not my portion, and you start talking and treating the child and start using harsh words or horrible words on the child. It's not their fault. All you have to do is to show them some love. And now that they have been diagnosed with this, now find a way of helping that child. In this country, there's so many facilities. There are many things that can be done to help these children. So that's a very good point, Nati. I wanted to come to that when Ngozi was talking. And now that you're going, I thought I would mention that. But thank you for bringing that one up. Very, very important. Oh, Ngozi has dropped off. Sorry, my dear. Yes, thank you. But thank you so much. I value your input. Really, really, spot on. Thank you. And for coming up, I appreciate you. This is the first time you come on the live stream and you came up to give a very valuable information. I really appreciate that so much. Thank you. Okay, back home in society don't understand. No, they don't understand. They want to cast, they want to bind, they want to lose. Casting and binding and losing is all well and good, but also take action. Get that child checked out. Don't keep telling the child off and using some of the horrible words parents use on their children. You wonder, has it come to that? Why do you have to talk to this child like this? Even if they're being, I remember when I was being so naughty as a child, yeah, mom will flog me, but not to say, just all those horrible words. I never, nothing like that. Because you should know that child eventually they will change. They're not going to continue like that. But if it's autism, then that's something that they will live with most of the time. And some of them will be calmer when they have autistic. When they're autistic, some of them will so hyper. And whatever situation you find your own, you just have to understand that this is what it is and live with that, with prayer and everything. I've seen some autistic children that are so calm. I've seen some of them that are so hyper, and what you give them, and some people keep giving them some of these soft drinks like soda and all the rest of it with all the caffeine. You have to, when you have that kind of hyperactive child, look into what they're eating and drinking, because sometimes those things can affect them. Okay, Evelyn, did you try to come up again or you couldn't? Because we'll be rounding up shortly. I thought you wanted to say something. I would have loved to hear your point of view. Do you want to try once more before we round up? Do you want to try once more? We'll see if you can come up, because I can see you wanted to say something. Yes. Yes. Ngozi's reality really made some good points there, because foundation, the root cause of the problem. People sometimes we just forget about that, and we're talking about children. This. What is the root cause of the problem? How are you working together as husband and wife? Because I was listening to a lady. She's 105 years, and she's been married for 69 years, and they're both still alive, and herself and her husband. And they were asking her, 105. And she still got her marbles. She still was able to communicate, albeit very fragile, but she was able to say. And one thing I got from what she said is that she said the mistake that married couples make or have made is that they leave God out of their marriage. When this 105-year-old woman married for 69, almost 70 years of marriage, she said that the mistake some married couple make is that they leave God out of their marriage. Yes, I was listening to her as I was planning for this. I was just listening to things, and I listened to this woman. I'm like, wow. And then there's another thing she said, I picked. She said that in marriage, you have to keep adjusting. Hey, I got it immediately. I say, yes. I've been married for 40. I thought I was doing well. They have been married for nearly 70. And she said that you have to be adjusting all the time. This is nearly 70 years of marriage, 105 years, that you have to keep adjusting all the time. I got these 2 points, And then she also said that you don't have to keep thinking about myself, that you have to be thinking about ourselves. This lady was 105 years. She said that you have to stop thinking about myself, start thinking about ourselves. Hey, I got that one as well. I'm like, you see, You learn every day. So some of you here, obviously, because I've been married longer than you are, and you think, yes, I've got some wisdom and knowledge, and you're listening, and I'm getting my own wisdom and knowledge from 105-year-old lady who has been married for nearly 70 years. I got these 3 points from that woman. I'm like, wow. And what amazed me is the fact that at 105, she still got it right up there. No dementia, nothing. She was just discussing. Yes, she said the truth. That we have to keep adjusting all the time. That's the word she used, all the time. So it's not a case of, oh, see, finish. I've been married for him for 40 years now. What is left now? I know that when he drinks, he leaves the cup there. That's normal. I know that when he goes out, he doesn't come back until midnight. That's normal. Why would I be following him and wasting my time? No. You have to keep adjusting, keep doing things, it has to be ourselves, not myself. Linda Nenye is doing series. I don't know when this is going to come up, when we are going to talk about money. I'm looking forward to that series. I'm going to have a lot to say. Linda Nenye is here. I don't know when she's going to do the topic on that money matter, because there's a lot to be said about marriage and money. Because money, there are two things, infidelity and money, causing problem in the marriages. But do you know what? Infidelity, some women will say, talk to him, provided he goes and comes back. So when I hear women say that, I'm like, do you actually understand the institution of marriage, what it's all about? Do you actually understand when you say I do on that day? Do you actually understand what you mean? What do you mean by, talk to him, he can go wherever he wants, provided he comes home, and provided he doesn't give me any disease? I hear some women say that, and it disturbs me. It disturbs me when I hear a woman say something like that about her husband. I'm not talking about her friend or boyfriend, for those of them who do boyfriend before they get married. I'm talking about somebody that you've gone in front of everybody to say I do. I don't care whether he comes home and provided he doesn't give me any infection. Hey, we have to understand what the institution of marriage is all about. We have to work together. That 105-year-old woman said that we have to be adjusting all the time. And part of that adjustment is not he can go, provided he comes home. That is not part of the adjustment we're talking about. Unless anybody has anything else to say, we're going to be stopping this live stream here. In 2 weeks' time, as I say, I'm sorry there won't be any live stream next Sunday, but in 2 weeks' time, which will be the first Sunday in September, by the grace of God, we are going to be back on Ifechi Family, so we can continue this discussion. But there are other aspects of it that I want us to look into. There are so many things happening in marriages. Some of them are man-made. Some of them are because there were lack of communication from the start. Before you say I do, communication should have been going on. Discuss everything that is discussable. Okay, Gifts, you're still here. Thank you, my dear. You're one of the first ones here. You're still here. Thank you so much. Discuss anything that is discussable. It's not out of place for you when you're still cutting to decide how many children are you going to have children. You may get married and decide not to have children. Marriage is for husband and wife. Children are added benefits. You may decide, do you know what? I want to get married, but I really don't want us to have children. After spending some time together, if we start feeling that we need to have children, we can go and adopt one or two. Some people do that. The institution called marriage has been watered down. Oh God, yes, a lot. And it breaks my heart when I see things happening in marriage and the way people say it and the way people take it. And some of them will say, let him go now. Is it not sex? No, it's not. It's not sex. Because when you unite with somebody in that way, that is what they call intimacy. You are body to body. It's not just, is it not about sex? No, it's not. It's so watered down. So sometimes I just wonder why do people even bother getting married? Why can't you decide not to get married? Must everyone get married? If you're not going to be committed to it, if you're not going to do all that it takes to remain in marriage, if you're not going to be a good influence when you're married, your life should not remain the same in a bad way. It should be, there must be something that would have changed, something that your spouse is doing or you're doing that would have rubbed on each other. And you think, hey, before I got married, I wasn't like this. So, hey, thank God for my husband, though. I've done this. Thank God for my wife. Oh. There should be, if there's nothing like that happening in your marriage, then there's something missing. There should be something you say, wow, honestly, marriage is good, though. Before I got married, I have a lot to say for my own self before I got married that I wasn't doing or that I wasn't. And like marriage, like, whoa, you know, marriage will humble you and marriage will also lift you up. It's not always about money. That's why I'm interested in this topic. We're going to talk about money, to tell you that money does not make marriage to work. I hear some people say, if you ask me in marriage, if you ask me a love or money, which one will I take? Some of them will say, is that a question? You don't ask that such a question. I know which one to take. Of course, I'll take the money. And that makes me laugh. That shows me that people don't understand the meaning of marriage. If you ask you love and commitment in marriage, that you are going to take money, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Communication is extremely important, very important. And I've always talked about communication on my channel. When I was on Linda Nenye's live stream 2 weeks ago, we talked about marriage and we came up with, Linda, how many C's did we come up that day about on marriage? How many C's? I think it's about 9. Communication, commitment, considerate. We came up with 9 C's that will make marriage to work. If you did not watch that live stream, I was co-host on that live stream on Linda Nenye. We talked about this. A lot was said that day. If you have time, go and replay that live stream to understand the 9, I think it's 9. Linda, correct me if I'm wrong. Did we come up with 9 or more C's that were needed in marriage? And number 1 is communication. And I always say that communication is communication, not shouting, not telling each other, being rough when you communicate. No, when you want to communicate, especially in marriage, find a suitable time. Stop dropping passing comment. Here, this kitchen, each time I come here, I'll put this thing here, it's there now. Okay, let me just put it back again, hoping that you're not communicating. You're just making passing comments. Another person will take it that you're being disrespectful. When you want to communicate something as small, when you hear some of the things that are causing problem in marriages, some of them you will laugh, some of them you will shudder. Is that all? But it's problem for them, so you have to take it serious. What causes problem in my marriage may not be what will cause problem in yours. So, yeah, 14. Okay, we came up with 14 C's on that day. So you go on that live stream and see all the C's, but communication kept coming up as the first one. Because if you don't communicate properly, then every other thing will just be nonsense. Yes, 14 C's we came up with. Please go and replay that live stream on Linda Nenye's channel. Marriage topic, yes, can never be discussed in one day. So I have other points down I wanted us to talk about today, but I'm going to leave it till next time we meet. We're going to continue on this marriage topic because I haven't even done justice to you, newer generation, raising up your children now. We haven't even done justice to that at all. Haven't even touched it as such, because I have a big issue at the moment. That just came up about you, and is here in the UK. And unfortunately, this young child is in Young Offenders Institution, and they're from our place in Nigeria. It's in Young Offenders Institution for what? I need to discuss that, but it's not something I will pick up today. So by the grace of God, 2 weeks time, we are coming back to Ifechi family. I normally do 1 week Ifechi family, the other week Ifechi health and wellness, but I know health is also important. However, we need to continue this. I need to bring up this child that is in Young Offenders Institution. There's many of them anyway, but this one just one that just came up recently. And I'll tell you the mistakes that were made that could have been avoided. Join me by the grace of God in 2 weeks' time. Next week, I won't be available. We're going away for the weekend, and we have Bank Holiday Monday, next coming one Monday. So we're going to go away for that. But on 2 weeks' time, please make it a date. Come back and join us as we discuss more about family. The mistake that this couple made that has made that their 13-year-old, 13, 13-year-old son is in Young Offenders Institute at the moment. It is heartbreaking. We don't want to be hearing that kind of stories. We did not leave our country to come here for greener pastures, for our children to be ending up in places like this. As I said, I'm just talking about it because it's a new one that just came up. If you go in there, I remember in my job when I used to work in Young Offenders Institute, I used to work there as occupational health practitioner, where I assess the prison officers. And each time I come out for break, I'll see all these children. The young offenders is between, sorry everyone, let me I think my son came and he's about to go. Let me just mute and say goodbye to him. Yeah, our youngest son, because he doesn't live very far. So every Sunday he knows that we are going to do Sunday roast or Sunday whatever. He learns. We went out yesterday. As we are coming back, because he didn't say he was coming yesterday to stay over. As we are coming back later in the evening, the light, we can see the light in our living room on. I said to Dad, I said, did we leave the light on when we are going out? But we went off like late morning. I said, we won't have left the light on when we are leaving this in the morning. And then he just said, maybe Obi is here. I'm like, no, but he didn't say he was coming today. We opened the door. Here he is. Here he was. And so we just finished our Sunday lunch, and he's now going now with some leftover that you eat later on. The beauty of having a mother. No matter their age, they never grow so old to need their mother's food. So that's why I just paused to say goodbye to him. Anyway, so my lovely people, I am so heartbroken by the recent one. But as I was saying, when I was working for that Young Offenders Institute, just looking after the prison officers, when I come out during my break, I will see them playing football. Because in this country, the way they do it, they will be there teaching them things. They will learn. They will do something. They will come and play football. They do all sorts of things, and you see them running around and laughing as if that is their place. And it breaks my heart when I see that. But this new one that just happened, the mistakes that were made is what I want us to come. It can happen to anybody. It's not a finger pointing thing. When you see anybody whose child is inside there or doing anything going wrong, please, if we have ever done that, we retract and say, God, forgive me. Don't ever say, I know that the child will turn up like this because the mother is, please. Never point finger, because nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows how these children will go. It's only by the grace of God. And it's not because you're trying so much. It's not because you are the best parent that your own have turned out so good. No. So when you see anybody whose child is derailing or doing also, even if you think that the parent did not get it right or that they were not intentional with their upbringing of those children, please never point finger. Never say anything in like blaming them. Please, if you've ever done that, ask God for forgive you. I know why I'm saying this. It is not by might, it's not by power, it's not by the amount of prayers you've done, it's not by the amount of good examples you showed them. No, it's not. So don't blame anybody. But in 2 weeks' time, by the grace of God, we're going to go into this. She doesn't mind me sharing, obviously. No, I'm not going to mention them. I'm not going to mention anything or even where they live. And this lady does not mind me sharing. I promised her I was going to do it today, but time is no longer in our favor. I don't want this live stream to be more than 2 hours, and we're already 2 hours and 38 minutes. And I don't want that. Normally, I would just want this live stream to be 2 hours, so we cannot go into that. She actually wanted me to share because she thinks that it will benefit others, because there's other people who will be in similar situation, and we don't know it all. What you are doing that you think is right for your child may not actually be right. So in 2 weeks' time, by God's grace, we are going to continue with this, because it's very important. Because if we miss it in our children's upbringing, we have missed a lot, and we cannot get it back, unfortunately. And most of the time, when they go inside there, they become worse, because they're given easy hand to do what they want. They become worse. So the best thing is to avoid that if we can. Prayers is all well and good, but please, I don't know how to, you have faith, but you're not, faith without work, yes, is dead. That's exactly what I said in Igbo. Faith without work is dead. You cannot be saying, I have faith. Oh, it's not my portion. This is not my portion. Let me even say that to our Nigerian people. This word is not my portion. Because let us use it with caution. Because once they say it's not my portion, they'll just be going. It's not their portion because they attend church every Sunday. And because of that, it's not their portion. It won't happen to them. That word is being overused and being misused. And we have to be very careful. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you so much, my lovely people, for being here with us and for making this interactive, both on this comment section and for those of you who came up. I know Evelyn tried to come up, but she couldn't. I don't know whether it's her network. But next time, if you're able to come up, I would love to hear from as many people as possible. We all learn. On this platform, it's a learning curve. It's not a lecture. It's not, live by my example. Oh, look at me now. I'm happy. Still after 40 years, still happy and looking like I'm just getting married again. It's not that. It's the fact that we just have to share. I learn from you, you learn from me. And we all learn together and grow together. And that is the whole idea of this channel. And that is the whole idea of having this live stream every Sunday. Thank you, ma. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you so much. Same to you, Ngozi. I really appreciate you coming here for the first time and being very, very, interactive. I'd love to see you more on my channel, and I will see you as well. So on that note, Ngozi's creativity, Evelyn, my spicy, Musisi Kizito, Rose, Blessed at the Countryside, Linda Nenya. Linda, you didn't answer my question when we are going to talk about that. Anyway, we'll talk on DM, yeah? We'll talk on DM. Beauty by NJ. Beauty is the mother of many nations. She's got 5 children here in Europe. So I'm sure she has a lot of ideas and a lot of things to say. Thank you so much, Beauty, for being here. I call her mother of nations, of many nations. I had 4 children then, and to me, I was like, oh, 4 children, that's so much. But when I see somebody with 5 now, I love my heart for her. And thank God for your life and for your life of your children. And every one of you here, may God keep being with you. Gift, honor her. Oh, Gift, you're still here. Blessed at the Countryside. Yes, every one of you, I see you all, and I thank you, Rose. I thank you all for being here and always making this live stream so interactive, and I'm looking forward to the next one already. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed week. Whatever you are looking for that is in the will of God will come looking for you this week. May God bless you. May God be with you and all your family members. Keep smiling, keep praying, keep believing God, because with God, all things are possible, no matter what it is. Though it tarries, it shall surely come to pass, provided we put our whole trust in Him, and provided we don't have any ulterior motive, thinking about evil things about people. If we don't have open mind and we are, anybody thinking that any evil against us, it will boomerang. It will return back to sender. I've seen return back to sender happen a lot, because when you have clear conscience and you're not thinking of any evil, And anybody thinking evil against you, it returns to them. It happens. It happens. So stand firm in the word of God, and may God bless you. Musisi, once again, thank you so much. Every one of you, those in the background, those who are still with me here, bye. Thanks, it's all about intentional about parenting. Yes, definitely being very intentional about it and working together with your spouse, no matter what the challenge is. Both of you will weather the storm. Yes, absolutely. Okay, my lovely people, I'm going to sign out now. God bless you all, and we'll see you by God's grace in 2 weeks' time. We'll continue this discussion, and I have this important update so that we don't make such mistakes. And God, I know it's all well and good to say it's not our portion, but we have to also do our own bit. Bye, everyone. Love you all. Have a blessed week. Goodbye. I'm signing off now.